you showed up under my umbrella. Oh, shelter from the cold. Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? All alone. Your eyes match the weather, raining under pressure. Oh, you say you wanna go, yeah. So let's get away from here. Let's get away from here. Lost in time with one another. The hourglass takes us further from here. Strangers found lost in time with one another. The hourglass takes us further from here.
to escape. People set your mood. When you're walking on the moon, walking on the moon, chase your happy place. It will change your groove. When you're dancing on the moon, dancing on the moon. When we dance again, all our trouble seems to fade away. This is how I feel when you take me to some levels that I've never been. When we dance again, all our trouble seems to fade away. This is how I feel when you take me to some places that I've never been. When we dance again, that I've never been, that I've never been, that I've never, ever, never, ever, never been.
Walking on the moon.
One moment to escape. People set your mood. When you're walking on the moon,
Walking on the moon.
chase your happy place. It will change your groove. When you're dancing on the moon, dancing on the moon. When we dance again, all our trouble seems to fade away. This is how I feel when you take me to some levels that I've never been. When we dance again, all our trouble seems to fade away. This is how I feel when you take me to some places that I've never been. When we dance that I've never been, that I've never been, that I've never, ever, never, never been.
Today could change everything. After 3 weeks of high-stakes Rocket League action, we've had no small amount of shocks, turns, and a literal plot twist. Teams at the bottom and middle of the standings could potentially rise towards the top, and top teams, if they stumble, could jeopardize their aspirations for RLCS glory. So again, I ask, who wants it the most? Let's find out. Week number 4 of the North American Rival Series. My name is Albert Haloran Haley III. It's my pleasure to be your host. On the desk, we have Subi, Stacks. Gentlemen, we have insane action lined up today.
We absolutely do, and if you missed this morning, Europe was on fire, and I can't wait to see what North America can bring. And we're starting off the day hot today with a hot team in Birds and the Bees, and we saw them last week. They were fun to watch.
They really were fun to watch. Our Birds and the Bees, they're a team that they're not really blowing anybody out of the water, but they are still undefeated, and they're the best team until somebody steps up and says otherwise.
Take a good look at this standings, because by the end of the day, there's going to be a lot to be shifted around. Birds and the Bees, the Peeps, definitely the talk of the conversation in terms of the overall schedule and what they could potentially aspire towards. But every team here pretty much could have a stake at the very least towards that bottom end standings.
Yeah, and if you look at that number 5th spot, the Pittsburgh Embers now bringing themselves up to 2-2, one of the only 3 teams that have 2 losses to their name, and the sub Kai coming in huge last week, giving them new life, bringing a flame upon them.
And you look at the other teams there. We talked about the Birds and the Bees. 2 wins, and they will clinch a top 2 spot. The Peeps have a chance to clinch top 2 as well, and if they don't, then Pandora's box opens up, and any number of other teams can get there.
And RBG Esports is like sitting at the middle, but they have so much potential. They've only been 2-1 so far, only 1 loss. If they somehow manage to win out for the rest of the series, they're very much also in that top 2 conversation. But these teams are playing for a lot more than just competitive action and saying, hey, we're pretty good at the game. Top 2 spots will get to be able to play in the RLCS promotion tournament, maybe make their way to that level. Top 4 teams get to return to Rival Series next season, and none of these teams want to try to go through play-ins again, which is exactly what the bottom 4 would have to do.
Yeah, Birds and the Bees are undefeated so far, but there's no guarantee that they're going to stay there. They got to do work today, and you look at first place, a lot of money on the line. You want your lion's share of this prize pool, and especially going to that promotion tournament.
Yeah, there were 6 teams that qualified for this season through the play-in because nobody stayed together from the RLCS after getting relegated. So the 2 teams that stayed from last season, the Peeps and now RBG, great, but everybody else around them came in through that play-in. You don't want to have to go through it again because it is a brutal process.
That's why I call it the Wild West, because so much has changed from the previous Rival Series, and it does come down to the team that decides they want to go ahead and make it into the RLCS. They want to make it through the Rival Series and beyond. Let's take a look at the schedule today, because the matches are incredibly important, particularly for the Birds and the Bees. If they're able to take down their 2 opponents today, they'd be 6-0, guaranteeing their top 2 spots. The Peeps are also very close to that same situation.
Yeah, a lot on the line today for all these teams that are playing. RBG Esports has a lot to play for. The Peeps have a lot to play for. The Dudes even have a lot to play for. They do not want to get another loss that could potentially take them out of top 4.
Yeah, and RBG Esports, they come in very similar to the Vikings in Europe. They come into the week in control of their own fate. If they win out, that includes a match next week with Birds and the Bees, they would have maybe even the top spot in the league, but they would clinch a top 2 spot. But on the other side, I mentioned the Peeps. They can secure a top 2 spot as well. 2 sweeps. That's all you got to do. Just win 3-0 twice. No big deal. Problem is you're against maybe what might be actually the second best team in the league in RBG. I think that's going to be a fire match.
It's not a small order by any means. Looking at the matches today, I definitely am excited to see RBG Esports. Let's jump into the very first matchup. The Birds and the Bees, they are lined up potentially to make it into one of those top 2 spots. The Dudes, they started to show some signs of life during the past couple of weeks. I think if they build up that momentum, we could have a very interesting matchup here.
Yeah, all it boils down to for the Dudes is they have to show up and play. What they've brought through the past 3 weeks has not worked at all. And when you're facing the best team in the league, what you've been doing so far, which is not much, you got to change that right now.
And they could not have had a more nightmarish weekend than last week. They played a doubleheader on the Rival Esports stream on Saturday morning. They didn't win a single game. They went from 1-1 and a complete 500 record to 6 losses. Now they're 1-3. They are on life support at this point, and this match here could get real ugly because you got Birds and the Bees who are a fantastic offense, and you get the dudes who have scored 16 goals in 14 games.
That is not the best statistic I've ever seen by any stretch of imagination.
It only gets worse.
Definitely the description here for the dudes. In terms of predictions, I might be able to hazard a guess at who you think is going to be able to take it, but who do you got?
You know, we were talking earlier in Europe about underdogs. I love them. They're one of my favorite storylines, but this one, too small of a puppy in this one. I got to go with Birds and the Bees.
Yeah, 1.14 goals per game average is not going to get it done, especially against a team like this. I got the Birds and the Bees as well.
I think we've seen very few instances where the dudes have played at the level of Birds and the Bees, but it hasn't been anywhere near consistent enough for me to think that it's not going to be anything but the Birds and the Bees being able to take this series. If they take this in their third matchup for the day, they'd be in a very good spot for the top two. But let's find out. Very first match of the day is going to be the Birds and the Bees taking on the dudes. Gentlemen, let's go.
Well, Skills has to have a huge day for the dudes, let's face it. He's had a big season so far. 11 of the team's 16 goals belong to him. Joe Fresh is behind him at 4 goals. Ralph only the 1 goal in the 16 games they've played. Something has to change. He needs a lot of help if they are going to win this match especially.
You ready for me to blow your mind?
All right, what do you got?
You brought up Ralph. 4% shooting accuracy. Not 24, not 14, 4. If they're going to win, he has to find the net.
Tadpole is off the hook. We have a new line in the rival series. It is the Ralph line. It is not pretty, but we are underway in game number 1. Series starts 0-0. Perhaps new beginnings as Ralph throws one at the backboard. And he will miss this on the side, but Skills is there, lobbing one in. Mist should have this away easily. He does, but only as far as Joe Freshness with the challenge. Joe now cannot get that ball out to Skills, who has to turn and challenge that. Even with Ralph coming up, could be trouble for the dudes, but Joe makes the save.
Yeah, one thing you want to keep your eye on for the Birds and the Bees is their ability to turn something into nothing, or nothing into something, rather. They can turn into high-powered offense on the turn of a dime, so watch out for that. And look at this passing play from Roldiz, but unfortunately no one there. Joe Freshness just bombs it downfield.
We've seen a lot of teams over the past few seasons, Subi, that can turn something into nothing.
This is true. This is true.
Birds and the Bees do it on defense all the time. This one lobbed in, though. Joe missing off the backboard. Nobody really took the bait, and there's no follow-up attempt either. Mist bombs one downfield. He could follow this himself. Kicks out in front. Hogster throws to the corner. And that was with Roll Diz coming on as well, so maybe a little miscommunication from Birds and the Bees. And we remain scoreless about a minute and a half into our opening game of the night.
Yeah, it just feels like the Birds and the Bees are trying to feel out what the dudes are working with on the defensive end. So far, a little spaced out are the dudes, and the double tap from Hawkser finds the net.
Yeah, Hawkser here, indirect to himself off the ceiling. Sometimes you got to improvise. He does that perfectly. And when you got a player that's that confident, it is so difficult to defend. Unassisted goal to start things off.
Yeah, and if you're on the defense, you got to get up sooner. Any ball that's heading towards that backboard, expect a double tap coming, especially from the Birds and the Bees. All 3 members are absolutely mechanically gifted.
Joe Freshness to the corner. Challenged by Roll Diz, but Joe can break out here if he's not beaten by Mist. Hawkser popping one up there. Skills will have to climb up for it. Roll Diz dunking another ball back in. No real follow-up for Birds and the Bees. Seems like they really are waiting for the dudes to throw the ball downfield and start their own counterattack. Missed with a double touch to drop that down for Roll Diz, but I don't know that that second touch was what he was looking for. And now Ralph will try his luck out of the corner, trying to set up Skills. He's the leader of the dudes, but he can't score here.
Oh, and a good touch from Joe Fresh, and just put it over to Skills. He gets the touch, but Ralph a little too slow to rotate in. I love the idea of the passing plays that we're seeing from the dudes. They're gonna have to change stuff up as we've seen all season long.
We are about 30 seconds away from a milestone. You had a stat earlier, Subi, that would blow everybody's minds. This one could too. Skills scores here, though, to tie the game off a great indirect pass from Joe.
Yeah, the main scorer for the dudes, and no one home for Birds and the Bees. Tie ball game. You do not want to give the dudes an opportunity to take game 1. That is going to be so demoralizing if you're on Birds and the Bees.
Ball bomb downfield by Mist. Joe is up to grab. He may need to recover very quickly, though. Missed. He missed. Rolled is on the putback, and Birds and the Bees are back in front.
Oh, and this is what Birds and the Bees are so well known for. Look at Hawks are going in, just trying to disrupt the flow of the defense. No one there, and Roll Diz capitalizes on the empty net.
They take so many shots, they get so many second chance opportunities, and they cash in here. Missed. Let's Joe Freshness play this ball. And now Roll Diz and Joe, who's going to get there first? It will be controlled by Birds and the Bees. Popped away by Ralph. Skills keeping one in front. He could not clear the ball away, and Hoxer makes him pay for the poor clear.
And just too fast for the defense here. Look at the pass from Mist, and Skills gets the bad touch, which just pops the ball up. Hoxer waits no time to capitalize upon that ball.
All right, Zuby, you ready for this?
I'm ready.
1 second comes off the clock. There it is. Ralph scored in game 2 of their first series as Birds of the Bees increased their lead. It has now been over an hour of gameplay since Ralph has scored in the rival series.
An hour of gameplay.
Yes, over 60 minutes now. It has not been the season that Ralph has expected, especially being a returner in the rival series, playing in the second season not too long ago, just a year ago. Ball to the side, Roll Diz, challenged by Joe. It will be Ralph to clear this away.
Oh, he needs this for his confidence.
Roll Diz will get there. Almost collided with Mist before the save, though. And if that ball had fallen in, you would have known it was Ralph.
Oh, look at Roll Diz.
Here's Hoxer. Joe Freshness in to make the save with the final 90 seconds coming up here in game number 1. It so far has been all Birds and the Bees as we expected.
Yeah, when you're playing the Birds and the Bees, you have to keep your head on the swivel in the defensive zone. They're going to be rotating through, looking for defenders to take out. You have to make sure that you avoid that, get out of the way without disrupting your defensive flow.
That challenge going the wrong way for the Dudes. Missed with a big dunk, and Ralph at the back has to do what he's done all season, try to keep the Dudes in the game. 50 seconds remain. Roll Diz, challenged by Ralph. Can't get past Mist, however. And Skills, all he can do is throw that in the general vicinity of the net, and Roll Diz is all over it. Hoxer taking his time. More seconds off the clock. Joe Freshness slow played that ball. Roll Diz did not, and as a result, it's 5-1.
They are just putting on a clinic right now. Birds and the Bees, all 3 members with 3 shots apiece. All 3 members getting on the board for goals. Every single one is contributing. This is a picture-perfect Rocket League team as far as this game is concerned.
That is a beautiful image on their scoreboard. 3 shots apiece, just a full team effort dominating in game 1. The Dudes have a tall hill to climb. Looking to end their scoreless drought here at the end of game 1. Missed, throwing another one downfield. All Ralph can do is toss it to the side, and this game can't end soon enough for the Dudes. It finally will, as Ralph makes one more save, and the Birds of the Bees, they're not content with just 5. One more for the road. No, Birds of the Bees will have to settle for only 5 goals in game 1.
Oh, terrible, terrible performance from Birds and the Bees.
Yeah, right, just amateur stuff.
No, but we saw some moments of greatness from the Dudes, especially early on in the game, but the Birds and the Bees just started to warm up, got the flow of things, and just could not be stopped. They were a steamroller heading downhill, all momentum behind them. Right now for the Dudes, there's a lot of things that I'd like to see different from them, but I think what they could work on right now is the spacing. So far, they are so spread apart that it's just so hard for them to challenge balls. A little touch from Birds and the Bees puts the ball in an open field, and no one from the Dudes is there to challenge it.
Yeah, and for the Dudes, Skills adding the only goal in that game, that's what we've come to expect from Skills and the Dudes. He now has 12 of their 17 goals in now 15 games. It has been a rocky season for the Dudes.
That math almost broke you. I saw it.
Almost broke me. Yeah, caster math, not my strong suit, but it does work out, and it doesn't work out to paint a good picture at all for the Dudes, as now they go into game 2 having history against them so far this season, and a team that looks like they're on form.
Yeah, it was 10 shots to 5, so the Dudes did have their opportunity, but I felt like all of the opportunity was in the beginning of the game. They need to make sure that they can carry on for a full 5 minutes of Rocket League. We're not playing halves here. The Dudes got to change things up because the Birds and the Bees look super hot right now.
Lost in all of the talk about numbers, Mist is right there near the top of the league, just behind Shadow for what we would call the unofficial golden striker, maybe the silver striker here in the rival series. 1 goal per game exactly. Boy, oh boy, Hoxer hasn't had a series like this in a while.
Check out the angle on this shot. He goes off the backboard, flips upside down, and somehow puts the shot on target, far post, under the crossbar. Are you kidding me?
That is incredible stuff. They almost got one on the kickoff. They still might. It's Hoxer again, and Skills had to contend with Mist right in his face trying to get the bump. But they do not relent. They are a team, Birds of the Bees, that they might have heard some of the criticisms.
That play right there, you could see the spacing. Ralph wanted to pass the ball. Joe Freshness was all the way on the opposite wall, spread way too far apart. Tighten these things up. You'll be able to get those infield passes.
Mist will let that ball go by. Their Skills back to Joe, but the pass is behind him. And a missed opportunity. Ralph will try to keep the play alive, but Mist will find Roll Diz. And these passes have been pretty crisp from Birds of the Bees so far. Skills with a shot right there at Mist. Joe cannot center for Ralph. And back downfield come Birds and the Bees. A shot that's just wide from Roll Diz, but more zone time for BNB as Mist bounces one for Roll Diz. I don't think Roll was expecting that at all.
I don't think anyone was expecting that at all. That was beautiful double pinch off the ground. Nice demo to open things up. Skills goes up high. No one in net. Joe Freshness can't find the double tap. And again, the Dudes turned away by the defense from Birds and Bees.
Roll Diz for Hoxer, well read by Skills, who's doing it all right now for the Dudes, trying to keep them in this series. Great pass down to Hoxer. Joe's pre-jump perked out, though, just barely, as he made a reflex save.
9 times out of 10, there's no way you're saving that, but he gets luck on his side, reads it beautifully. And now, the Birds and the Bees trying to find another goal, marching their way down the field. Offense just seems too easy to find for them in this match.
Missed. Big drive. Skills has to come out and challenge Roll Diz. Great play set up by Mist. Even better defense from Skills. But now they need to clear this ball. They need to get boosted up as well. Mist will take out Skills. That is trouble for the Dudes. Roll Diz gonna set the table for Hoxer, but he will back off for a moment. Now he comes up. Another ball played to the back wall. Coming up on halftime, and it must have felt like for the Dudes that this game's been going on for 4 minutes with how much defense they've had to play.
Yeah, and it must feel like the Birds and the Bees have some tarot cards or something, because they're just reading the future of the Dudes. They know where every single pass is going. They're cutting off lanes beautifully. But now here come the Dudes. Can they get a shot on net is the big question.
4-3, still in the cards for the Dudes if they can win out the rest of the way here, and we know
look
in
at this.
Europe, that'll be good enough to make the top 2. Skills with a big save. Can't get downfield though. Hoxer another challenge on Joe. Joe needs to recover and start this play.
Oh, and look at that nice pop-up pass. Mist was already coming off the wall. Their comms are brilliant in this matchup.
Roll Diz not able to land as he would have wanted to on the wall. That opens an opportunity. Ralph can't catch up with the pass. Dude still on the attack. It's Skills for Joe, denied by Mist. Ralph will try. Needs to get the ball in front. He has, but Roll Diz is right there.
They're starting to break them down. That's what they need to do. Continue to open up the net with shots, open it up with those infield passes, and here comes Joe looking for a bump on the goalie, and the shot just off target from Ralph.
You got to dig deep into the bag of tricks if you want to pull off the upset. Mist to the backboard for himself. This will angle down. He took out Skills. Hoxer had backed off for just a moment, Had he committed, it might be 2-0. Mist will try again to center, challenged by Joe. And now another clear from Skills, who's got to make a lot happen. He's found Ralph. That shot's wide. Follow up from Joe is saved as well.
They can do no wrong. They double commit on the play there, and somehow Mist flails in front of that ball to hold on to the 1-goal lead. But we're not done. 40 seconds still remain, and here come the dudes marching down the field.
Mist to send another one away. Rule Diz might have this play followed up. He does not. Ralph jumps the route, and now it's Skills for Ralph, and that almost ended the scoring drought, but he's denied by Old Ironsides. The corner of the goal frame comes up clutch for Birds and the Bees. 15 seconds. Mist circling around in his own net. It'll be Roldiz who plays the ball forward. Hoxer is there off the deflection. And now Joe and Skills double commit, trying to get this ball downfield. There's going to be no time left. And they have to go the length of the field, which they will not. And the dudes put up a much stronger defensive effort, but are still held scoreless. And now they are 1 win away from Birds of the Bees from being swept.
But only outshot by 1 shot this game. Much better showing from the dudes, and the scoreline even shows that. Saves pretty equal. Only difference is obviously the goals,
yeah.
But match 3, I really think the dudes have an opportunity to take it, especially what we saw in this game. They were tightening things up, but we saw a few instances where the Birds and the Bees just know what the dudes are doing. They can read it all the way across the field.
And it's not like the dudes have been blown out in many of the games that they've played. They're only allowing just under 2 goals per game coming in. So game 1, very much an outlier there. So now they have to recover. They got blown out in game 1. Much more spirited effort in game 2. They need W's, though. How do they pull that off?
Well, we talked about it earlier after game 1, and for me, that's just tightening up the field of play. And we're starting to see moments of hesitation from the dudes where it's like that split second, like, should I go? And then, yeah, I'm going to go. No, get that out of your head. You've got to go now, because the Birds and the Bees are one of the fastest teams you're going to face. They're already in the air when you're thinking, am I going? Yeah, I'll go. And then you're getting dunked, and it's going to lead to a goal or something crazy.
We're seeing one team finish an undefeated season over in Europe, RLCS Esports, punching their ticket into the promotion tournament. Birds and the Bees could go 6-0 by the end of this week. They are so close to number 5 here. Hoxer to center. It's set away by Ralph. Say what you want about Ralph's offense. His defense has been on point. It's one of the biggest reasons that they don't give up a ton of goals.
Yeah,
you can't win if you don't score.
Just at about 1.6 saves a game, so he's definitely the defensive wall for the dudes. But I want to see some offensive production. I want to see some more assists. I want to see especially a goal. It's going to do so much for his confidence.
Joe Freshness set away by Mist. Ralph was on the weak side as well, but the ball never got there. Now Skills towards Joe. Ralph has to make the save on Hoxer, and he does. And Skills will watch this ball go by. Ralph can't recover in time, and Roldiz scores as that ball is just whipping around back and forth.
Yeah, you called it, just too fast. And look, it going left to right, then right back to center. Roldiz is already in the air, and Ralph just watches that ball go over his head into the net. And once again, Birds and the Bees scoring the first goal in this series.
And now the kickoff does go the way of the dudes. A chance to tie this game up very quickly. Joe Freshness lobbing one in. Ralph thought about coming up. Now he will. There's that hesitation. Sometimes it works out. A lot of times it does not for the dudes. Roldiz going to have this ball all the way downfield. And that's going to leave Ralph to deal with it, which he does. Quickly off the side, but right at Mist. Should be cleared away. And it is by Roldiz. Hanging in there, taking the hit.
Yeah, we were talking about it. That split-second decision-making means all the difference. Look at the flick from Hoxer, just missing the upper 90, but Roldiz continuing the offense, battering that left corner of the dudes.
It is Hoxer throwing another one downfield after a couple of demos, one aside. Missed, backboard, Hoxer's there,
Shut up.
dropped it down. Hoxer's the human highlight reel title tonight.
Oh my goodness, Stacks. I don't even care. Look at him pre-read this. He's up in the air, gets it over 2 defenders, and just softly caresses that ball into the net.
Roll Diz was sitting in midfield. I thought for sure that's who the pass was intended for. Hoxer calls him off and says, yo, I got this. 2-0 to Birds and the Bees.
400 IQ. I don't even know if that's possible, but it's possible in this game.
It is Skills trying to center for Joe. Now Ralph, he'll have a look. Shots wide. Hoxer avoiding Skills and clearing the ball. Over to Roll Diz so he could get it downfield.
But we saw a great idea there. You saw someone going in that fullback position trying to take out the goalie. Does he have it again? No, but Mist is there for the cleanup. 3-0 for Birds and the Bees.
Boy, if Hoxer scored this one, just call it off. But Mist is right there. That is a tough ball to read. Water falling down in front. Mist is there. His second of the series. And again, you look at the stat line for Birds and the Bees in this series, and there's a lot of goal participation in there. Only 1 or 2 unassisted goals. They both belong to Hoxer. Go figure. Joe, knocked out of the play by Mist. Everybody going this way and that way, and finally Joe Freshness bombs the ball downfield. Hoxer almost put it into his own net, but that's how confident he's feeling. He can do no wrong tonight.
Did you see that? That's a great show of defense there. He puts that ball up to his own backboard, and then he's able to catch it and put it into the corner. Just good showing of ball control. And that's an open net.
It is open, but Joe's able to get back just a little slow. Where Birds and the Bees trying to get their 4th goal as they look to close out the dudes. Skills. He's overruled his, but missed there for the stop. Joe for Skills. Now it's backed out in front off of Hoxer. Ralph is up there, but so is Rolled Is.
So far, Birds and the Bees have only allowed 1 goal in the entire series. About 2 minutes and 25 seconds in game number 1. And after that, nothing allowed for the dudes.
Missed all the way downfield. Rolled Is chasing. He'll turn off as Ralph will have it to the corner. Pop up for Skills, but Hoxer takes instead. Hoxer looking for a demo on Skills, and he missed him. Back the other way comes Joe. That comes out low off the wall, and he can't get the shot off. Ralph does, but Rolled Is saves.
And look at the clears. Rolled Is continues to find teammates to just put the ball towards, and then that teammate finds an opening in the defense, and they're able to get their offense rolling once again. A minute left. The dudes have a ton of work. The 3-goal deficit, one of the hardest things in Rocket League to come back from.
Ralph looking to cut into it if he can find Skills. He does. Joe Freshness out of the corner. Ralph is there to end the drought, and he has not. Roll Diz goes all the way downfield. Open net, and Hoxer slams it home.
Why not? Put another one to his name.
Yeah, how many now? I believe
5.
It's 5 for Hoxer, leading the team, leading all scorers in this series, and well-deserved as well. He has been everywhere. Mist and Rolled Is have wanted him to be, and with 35 seconds remaining, it is all over but the crying. In game 3, Rolled Is adds another.
Oh my goodness, this team is just looking hotter and hotter the more they play, and I feel so sorry for the team that they're facing later on today.
Yeah, the team they are facing later today is Upper 90, and the reports are, at least if Twitter is to believe, that a couple of those players are a little under the weather. Ball downfield is sent away by Rolled Is. Now Missed, just killing off this final 20 seconds. And now for Birds and the Bees, they're going to go to 5-0. And they will have
No, that's the score line, Stacks. It's 5-0 right now.
Yeah, that's also the standings.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I was confused.
They
Thank
are
you.
that good.
Wow.
And they are looking to go 6-0. If they do, beat Upper 90 later on tonight, they will clinch one of the 2 spots in the North American Promotion Tournament. But this, you want to show somebody how to play high-level Rocket League, this is a clinic put on by Birds and the Bees.
You are absolutely correct. 11 goals for Birds and the Bees in this series. Just barely missing the perfect sweep of the dudes. Dudes did score in game 1, 2:25 on the clock. but it's very apparent the dudes have a lot to work on and not a lot of time to pick things up. Top 4, is it potential for them, Math Wizard? Because I honestly don't know at this point.
It is very, very unlikely. 3 and 4, that's if they win out, and they've still got a tough match with the Peeps later on tonight. I can't imagine that is in the cards for the dudes. But boy, that series, that was reminiscent of what we saw from Birds of the Bees against Plot Twist. Remember when they had completely just stifled them on offense, didn't really let them have shots, let alone goals. And as a result, the dudes held to just the 1 goal, and the 1.14 average goes even lower.
Yeah, it felt a lot like the Peeps against Afterthought last week. Just they were having fun out there. The Birds and the Bees just kind of like freestyling almost. They just were it didn't feel like there was any stress on the field from them. Just going out, let's have fun, guys. And it led to a 3-0 sweep.
Well, Birds and the Bees are halfway home to clinching a spot in the promotion tournament. So, too, could the Peeps be if they come up with a big win over RBG. Maybe the biggest match of the week. Coming your way next here on the North American Rival Series.
The one you're missing. I just wanna get to know. Got a lights in Tokyo. Somehow hear it whispering.
I could be the one you're missing.
Welcome back to the North American Rival Series, where we've just found out that the Birds and the Bees are still, in fact, the Birds and the Bees.
Yeah.
Taking out the Dudes in pretty decisive fashion. That's what a lot of people probably predicted. The Dudes is just unfortunate, man. When you mentioned the 4% accuracy, I was like, this is Ralph's time. He can take that shot. And when it bounced off the post, I was just like, oh, man, I feel bad. It's tough.
We were all Ralph fans at that point. As soon as he had that shot, it was the best looking shot that it had too. It looked like it was in right off his car, and then it goes off the corner. And I mean, that really was indicative of exactly what the Dudes were facing in that series. The few chances they got, nothing went their way.
Yeah, it just felt like they did have those chances, and all the opportunities where the net was open for that split second, they couldn't capitalize upon it. And in the rival series, split second decision making is what you need to be able to win series.
Rival series, this format, it's tough to develop as a team, so it's just like you have to have that level of play in the moment, or else you are going to find yourself in those situations. But let's move on to the next match. While we saw the Birds and the Bees looking to hold on that number 1 spot, the Peeps and RBG Esports are very much embattled for that number 2 spot.
They are. The Peeps, again, I've said it a few times, 2 sweeps will clinch a top 2 spot. They aren't sweeping RBG Esports. RBG comes in as one of the favorites to take one of those spots in the promotion tournament, 2-1. And really, it is Aeon and Astro who were so good last season. If they reach their potential right here at the heart of the season for them, they are going to be very dangerous closing it out.
Yeah, Astro has only gotten better as the season has progressed. We saw weeks 1 and 2, just not a lot from him. And last week I cried and pleaded, hey, I want more from you, and he brought it. He carried his team to victory, and if it's the same Astro that we saw last week today, then oh my goodness, this is going to be a good series, as RBG only has 1 loss to their name, so top 2 potential for them is definitely viable.
You've heard it here first, guys. Subi tiers are the prime motivator to become a better player. We have the proof. It's right there. In terms of predictions, though, do you think that streak is going to continue? Who do you got?
It's a hard one. This is definitely one where I had to scratch the old noggin overnight, but probably not as much as this guy over here. But ultimately, I have to go with the play we've seen throughout the entire season. And through its entirety, I feel like the Peeps have been the better team. So I'm going to go with the Peeps, but I would not be surprised if this goes to Game 5, even to a crazy overtime, and then it's who knows.
Right, yeah, the Peeps finished 5-2 last season. They had to sit out week 5 and watch other results. I think they're going 5-2 this season. That means winning out, including this match here, but it is not going to be easy. I think Reddle's going to have to step up in a huge way for them, as he has for most of the season so far, but I do have the Peeps.
I think this is going to be a season-defining match for the Peeps. I do think that they will be able to take it. In the first 2 weeks, we saw them kind of struggle. Like, they had all this potential, but we just never saw them come to fruition. And last week, they popped off. They became that team that we thought that they could be. If they're able to take out RBG Esports in that same fashion, I think they'll be able to keep that consistency up through the rest of the season. But there's only one way to find out. Let's jump into it. It's going to be the Peeps taking on RBG Esports. Let's find out who wants it.
So for the Peeps, again, it's very simple. Sweeps are great. Game differential, if you drop any games, then becomes huge because RBG, they have the potential with what we've seen from them at times to just go off on the rest of the schedule they have.
I mean, technically, don't you always want sweeps when you're playing the game?
Sure, yes.
So, I mean,
here's a team who, when they win more games, their record is better.
yeah, that is high-quality analysis. That's what I'm here for, okay?
Yeah.
I want more of that, Stacks. No more of this 27 minutes and 4 seconds without a goal. I want hard precision facts that you bring.
Oh, no, that was Europe earlier. That was some other guy.
No, yeah, but so this one, the Peeps and RBG Esports, we have some rival series veterans going head-to-head. This one is huge. You know how hard both teams want this. Obviously, everybody wants to win, but this one especially, this has top 2 potential. This could potentially put you in the promotion tournament, and that's also a bigger paycheck in your pocket.
Yes, it is. The teams that finished 3rd and 4th, Peeps and what was the Compadres, respectively, last season, are doing battle in Week 4, and the winner is in great shape to go on to the promotion tournament. Still business to take care of no matter who wins this match, but there will be fireworks throughout. Arsenal has that ball pinched through. It is Gyro now who has been the guy for the Peeps on both ends of the field. but especially defensively, where he's leading the league in saves per game, just a shade over 2. Arsenal looking to center, and he is not able to as Aeon gets in the way.
Yeah, and for RBG, when they're on defense, they have to make sure that every ball that's touched by the Peeps, they realize could potentially be a pass. We saw mid-air passes turning into alley-oops last week from the Peeps, so be cognizant of that if you're on RBG.
Reynolds earlier this week saying, expect us in the promotion tournament, and he's got a goal to start things off here.
And an unofficial assist from Gyro. He takes out the goalie. Look at that, wide open net. Reynolds just has to put it close post. Nice hard shot. Good communication there from Gyro to say, hey, just take the shot. I'm taking the goalie out of the picture.
So the Peeps strike first in game 1. Arsenal looking to add to that total. It is Gyro, but he's not able to catch up with the shot. Now Aeon, his blast is going to be stopped by Reynolds. Another chance for Astro, and it's saved by Reynolds.
It's going to be hard to get the ball past Gyro, one of the top saviors in North America. He's averaging over 2 saves a game when collectively you're looking at like a normal average of about 1.25 saves a game. So he's just there and just holding it down.
It's defense that Rapid would be proud of, as he had a huge defensive presence on a team that did not fare so well last season, the Magicians. And he's been solid defensively here. You'd like to see a little more offense, though. Gyro turns it over to Aeon. A rare miscue, almost punished, but Reynolds clears the ball away. Another ball in front, and Reynolds bombs it downfield. Now to the corner, and it's popped up by Aeon. This could be trouble, but Astro makes sure it's out of harm's way until Arsenal gets a shot off, and that's saved as well.
Good defense there from Aeon to come meet that ball at the point of contact and make sure that it goes towards midfield, but they're not done. The Peeps continue to batter that back wall of RBG. They can't break out of their zone. Good touch from Gyro to keep possession in their favor.
3 shots from Reynolds,
Oh.
2 more from Gyro, and 1 from Arsenal, and they almost doubled the lead. This ball out in front, it should just get wide, but almost an own goal from the Peeps. Now can RBG capitalize? Great, calm defense there from Arsenal. Cool under fire, and the ball is down on the opposite end.
Yeah, one thing that we can definitely praise the Peeps upon is their communication. It's visible on the field. Well, as I say that, they bump each other and steal the boost, and all chaos happens.
A very Peeps thing to do as soon as you start praising them. Reynolds out towards Gyro. He's got all day to play this ball. Rapid coming on. Now he'll challenge, and Gyro just holds his ground. Aeon looking for Astro. The dynamic duo from last season, stuffed by Gyro.
Another save from him.
And they're going to turn it into a goal on the other side with Reynolds.
Oh my goodness. All 3 commit from RBG, and oh, that's a bummer of a touch from Aeon. All Gyro has to do is just put it towards midfield. Reynolds cleans it up. You got to be careful on RBG. The potential to clear the ball all the way downfield towards net from the Peeps is huge.
Arsenal, a key striker last season, but he's really kind of taken a back seat to Reynolds on this season's team. And Reynolds has embraced the role and then some. Reynolds now looking to set the table for Arsenal, but now he'll have to retreat. Gyro lobbing one downfield that Astro's going to dump to the corner. Gyro's all over it. Looking to center for Arsenal. Ball gets through, and it's cleared away by Rapid and Astro.
They're not done, though. They are just working left to right, and look at the touch from Gyro, and Reynolds is going to clean that up and put the 3rd goal on the board for the Peeps.
And it's Arsenal who saw this play coming in, and he sees Rapid stuck on the wall, just gives him a friendly little nudge to make sure he can't make a play. Reynolds with a hat trick. Gyro his 2nd assist, and a 3-0 lead for the Peeps in game 1.
I would argue that Gyro has a playmaker now with that unofficial assist on goal 1.
Sure, why not? There haven't been many playmakers in either North America or Europe. Gyro off of Aeon. Astro just banks this out. It is Reynolds playing another ball in. That could be played by Rapid. Back it comes, though, to the backboard. Rapid comes up empty. Great drop pass for Reynolds, and his shot swatted away by Rapid. Great recovery.
Yeah, and a good clear downfield, but they are definitely low on boost. Oh, and Rapid, the only one with over 50, was able to get to that ball and send it away, but up goes Astro and puts that towards mid, looking for Rapid, and what a touch. Beautiful to get the defense to jump.
Back it goes across midfield, and Astro makes sure he controls. Only 20 seconds remain in what should be a win for the Peeps in game 1. Ball just not going the right way right now for RBG. They have had 5 shots, but on the other side, that's been matched by both Gyro and bettered by Reddles.
14 shots right now for the Peeps.
Good grief. 3 seconds, 2, 1, and that'll do it. The Peeps start off week number 4 on a very strong note.
Okay, but to be fair, RBG, we've seen from what we've watched all season, they're kind of a slow starting team. They definitely were last week. They can warm up. They have potential to match the Peeps blow for blow. I don't expect to see this in game 2. I don't expect to see it in game 3. I think this was more of like a wake-up call to RBG, like, okay, this team's fast. We need to match them pace for pace.
Well, they can't keep relying on wake-up calls. We saw them in week 2, their debut match against a plot twist team that had not scored a goal against Birds and the Bees earlier, and plot twist came out and dominated them in that match. Since then, it's been a much better RBG team. We know that they are kind of a Jekyll and Hyde team, but if that was Jekyll, we need Dr. Hyde very quick.
Yes, we definitely
Mr.
do.
Hyde.
Well, they could both be doctors. Why not?
Yeah, why not? Well, they need maybe some doctors to help them out after game number 1. So, Dr. Smash, what do you got?
Well, you need to limit those saves. 10 saves in this game. You're putting 14 shots on the board. If you're the Peeps, you're not going to miss a lot of those. Their accuracy is up there as far as contenders in the rival series goes. But for me, it's just you got to match the pace of play. The Peeps are playing very fast. RBG has to do the exact same. We saw it in the first match. I think it was around halftime where they let that ball go over their head and get scored on. And in a moment like that, you got to be cognizant of that third man not pushing up too far.
For the Peeps, a team that does have, as Subi mentioned, a great shooting percentage, but also a strong save percentage. The few shots that they do allow on target, not many are getting by, especially Gyro. He's up for this ball, so too is Reddles. He will get around on 1, tried to fake out 2, and now a big demo from Rapid at midfield on Arsenal, but it leads nowhere.
Yeah, that's what they need more of. And a good feels backflip from Reddles. Watch the play on this. Good heads up to get underneath the ball.
Oh, this is,
Look at that.
It seems like right now the Peeps are playing a game where they've already seen it. They've traveled back in time to come play this game, and they know exactly what's going to happen before it does. And right now, they have a 4-0 goal advantage in this series. They scored early and often in game number 1. RBG, limited time to right the ship. This
There
could do
it is.
It is Aeon to Astro, and now RBG has some life.
There you go. Work those corners and then turn it into an infield pass. Aeon goes up, finds Astro streaking down. He doesn't have to slow up at all. Turns it into a fast shot on target, and they answer back quickly.
It took 5 minutes and 42 seconds of being a virtual punching bag, but RBG are on the board. Now they need to capitalize, add to their momentum. Astro around Arsenal, and Arsenal couldn't really take him out of the play. Astro can keep this alive, centered, but nobody's there for RBG. Now it's the counterattack. Gyro kills that with Rapid. Arsenal over to Reddles, and that's well read by Aeon.
Yeah, good vision from him, and Astro swing and a miss on that, but it actually works out in their favor as Rapid is able to just bomb this downfield into the corner, and Astro pokes that one up, but Rapid pushed a little too far forward, and Aeon misses that double tap.
Arsenal keeps this play from rebounding out to Aeon in a timely manner. So RBG are sent packing back to their own defensive end. Arsenal, I think he was able to get that corner boost from the orange zone. Reddles downfield for Arsenal, cutting in, and Rapid makes sure it goes out of harm's way to the corner. Another ball lobbed in that'll be sent out by Aeon. Astro, good redirect. Reddles doing as much as he can with this ball, which is apparently enough. Arsenal backwards still makes the clear.
No one in the net for the Peeps, and they're just so confident in their ability to get up to that ball quicker that they're able to push 2 players forward, not worry about defense so much because their offense is just so powerful.
It does feel like maybe RBG are trying to key in on Arsenal. He's had to put the brakes on a few times to avoid some demo attempts. So far, he's been kept mostly clean as this ball goes back downfield. Arsenal chasing, but beaten by Aeon. Gyro, double touch will keep this ball going to the corner, but he can't find Reddles. Reddles now trying to get this ball back to Arsenal, but it'll be Gyro who comes back instead.
Yeah, you mentioned RBG trying to key in on Arsenal and disrupt them, and they've absolutely done that. Throughout 2 games, he has yet to get a goal, yet to get an assist, but there is so much potential from Reddles and Gyro that it just doesn't matter, honestly, that they're trying to demo him.
Very patient attack there, doesn't yield a shot, but it shows off some great passing by the Peeps that RBG's got to contend with. Another opportunity may not go by the wayside as this ball drops down. Gyro gonna take his time on it. Make sure to get the full corner boost as Astro backs off. Aeon all over this, and Gyro still dunks it through. Able to go to the corner. Astro needs to clear it away, and he does, but he got a piece of the back wall as well. Arsenal may turn on this, but Aeon's over top of him, but Gyro again has the save.
He is so fast. He is everywhere. It's like he's picking up boost pads that have more boost than you're supposed to get from him. It's incredible. And here he comes again, just winning the challenge, doing a great job of keeping this ball in RBG's half.
Reddles now banking one in front. Astro can only play it to the corner. Reddles keeps it alive, but cannot take out Rapid. Gyro will try his luck. That shot's gonna be high. Aeon puts it to the ceiling to slow it down a little bit, but here comes Arsenal getting his first goal of the series.
There he goes. He shows up right when he's needed, and they're working the defense left to right, out and in, making them use as much boost as possible. All 3 members of RBG were so low there, they weren't able to conserve it well enough, and RBG give up another goal.
You think somebody told the Peeps before this series how close they were? It wasn't me, I promise. Gyro, backboard for himself, and it'll be instead Arsenal, who's left waiting for a ball that never reaches him. Now to his own back wall against Rapid. That's good patient defending by Rapid, but now this ball all the way downfield from Reddles that Aeon has to scramble back for. Jammed up in the corner. Astro needs to get this ball away, but also find a teammate. He has done neither.
I would have liked to see him carry that ball there. Instead of just hitting it forward and turning it over, look at the passing play. You're not stopping that. Reddles puts another one up.
Arsenal has tried to hit Reddles with this pass 3 different times this game, and this is the second time he's hit him. The first has resulted in a goal. 3-1 the lead for the Peeps with only 36 to go.
And we have seen RBG hold on, doing a great job in the defensive zone, but when you're looking at that many shots, there's no way you can stop that many. Once again, Reddles challenging that ball pretty neutrally, going towards midfield. Aeon can't quite keep up, and Gyro is gonna regain possession.
Rapid around in front. There is time for RBG in this game, but they need to score very quickly to give themselves time on another kickoff as Rapid scrambles back to make the save. Aeon not able to get back into the play. Rapid needs one more touch. It's not there. Only 4 seconds remain. Not enough time for 2 goals now. And the Peeps are 1 win away from a huge sweep in week 4.
You are absolutely correct on that. A sweep would be so much for them, especially with 2 losses already to their name. Reddles, Arsenal, Gyro, all 3 members showing up in this series. They're doing no wrong so far.
It has to be so close for the Peeps they can taste it at this point. And Reddles again, what was it? I think it was 7 or 8 shots in game 1. He adds another 6 here. Reddles has been awakened. Where he had kind of a slower start to the season, that upper 90 match feels like it is so far in the rearview mirror right now for the Peeps.
And how fun is it watching the Peeps on offense right now?
Oh,
You see
it
the
is
passing
so
plays.
fun.
It's great. I mean, as a silver 2, you just must be
I
like,
know.
what is a pass?
I know, right? My teammates never hit me with those, but especially the passes from Arsenal have been on point. I think that was only his first assist of the series, but he has set up so many other plays, and off the ball, he has been outstanding.
Yeah, and it seems like he's been the one to kind of start the offense. That's why he's not getting credited with goals or assists, because you got Gyro and Reddles just coming in, cleaning up shop. But for me, RBG we're seeing them play good Rocket League. We're seeing them hold down the fort in the defensive end. They just can't break out. They just they're hanging on by a thread, and they can't quite do it. This is their time, though. They do not want to get swept, especially with so much on the line.
They took one small step getting on the scoreboard and tying up game 2 very early. They need a giant leap to overcome the Peeps here in game 3. Prevent the Peeps from being another sweep away from clinching a spot in the promotion tournament. Gyro and Arsenal. Arsenal will take control.
Someone's got to go up for that.
Yeah, nobody did, and Astro scores a ball that just rolls in.
And Astro says no one goes up, so I'm going to put it down. Just a nice skee ball roll all the way on the ground into the center of the net. And there it is, RBG with their first lead of the series.
And it's 16 seconds into game 3. How do the Peeps respond? Arsenal beats Astro by not touching the ball at all. Now Gyro for Reddles, and it's cleared away by Aeon. Quick transition attack. No, Rapid not
There we
getting that
go.
ball downfield quick enough, and it gives the Peeps time to recover, and Reddles will clear that ball away, which felt like it sat there forever above the goal.
Yeah, RBG's definitely trying to fight fire with fire right now. They're matching the speed, matching the intensity. They're going up, chasing balls, and good comms there, but Aeon just a little too high, goes off the crossbar.
Peeps getting a little passive and maybe apprehensive on the defensive end here. They're getting punished for it. RBG have enjoyed a lot of zone time to start game 3. As must win as it gets for them, because if they don't manage to stop the Peeps from going 6-0 today, they have to rely on the dudes, and we saw them earlier. Arsenal keeps that ball out from in front. It's Gyro now, needs to recover. So too does Reddles, nobody does. And Arsenal, can he get there in time? Rapid drops it down, and Gyro, all he can do is sky this out. The Peeps right now are just helter-skelter on defense, and it's finally knocked away, but only as far as Aeon. He puts on the brakes, a little stutter step, it's kept out by Gyro.
What a save! That ball was just a pixel away from going in, and somehow he gets it out of the net and makes it so they're not down 2 goals.
Keep that one in the back of your mind as this game and series goes on. Towards an empty net just wide. Arsenal right at Rapid, and he makes the save. He guessed right.
And this is the first offense we've seen from the Peeps. RBG just not allowing them to break out whatsoever, but good read there from Gyro, putting that ball down into the left corner of the field.
Arsenal to center, looking for Reddles again, but the pass too far forward. Now Rapid, hopping one up, but nobody's home.
And they're lucky there because Gyro went up, fell for the fake, and got denied by the crossbar, just bonked his head.
Well, look at the positioning for the Peeps. It is dangerous on the defensive end. Gyro going for the corner boost, and he is very grateful for Reddles going downfield after that ball. Reddles gets a piece of Aeon as well, and he'll win this challenge. Gyro with the demo on Astro. Big shot, and it's saved by Rapid.
Oh yeah, didn't have much in the tank, so he had to wait till the last second, was able to utilize the side post to pinch that out. And here comes Gyro, looking to roll it down, but Aeon sees the waterfall coming and is able to turn it away. That shot is in all the way downfield, and with the aggressive play from the Peeps, you're gonna find holes in the back of the field.
That's a great challenge. We saw Niels Cook score one of these from a little bit closer on the European side, and Aeon has a huge insurance goal for RBG Esports, trying to begin the long road back for a reverse sweep. Here's Gyro, double touch, and it's saved by Aeon.
Yeah, I don't know how much of an insurance goal that was facing the Peeps. If it's insurance, they've got a pretty high deductible because the Peeps have the ability to come back at any time. Such a high-powered offense. Minute 44 is plenty of time to work with.
Rapid single-handedly beats two defenders, but Reddles got a piece of him. So here come the Peeps with a minute and a half. That ball over Arsenal. And Reddles plays that out of the corner. Gyro needs to play it further. He does, but Rapid is all over this. And perhaps RBG has gone into the shell. Make sure they don't give up any cheap ones. Loose ball though. Gyro misses well wide. So too does Arsenal. Reddles can't recover. He needs boost. That gives Rapid more chances to kill precious seconds off the clock. And now Aeon just high over the bar, and Reddles goes behind Astro.
There you go. If you're on the Peeps, time to start beating that war drum. Time to get to work. Reddles gets the defender out of the way, and Astro says, no way, no how. We're holding on to this lead.
Reddles for Arsenal. This time he returns the favor, and the Peeps aren't done yet.
And how about these Peeps? Just will not go away. Reddles puts this up, and Gyro gets a little bit of a touch on Astro to put him out of the play, and Arsenal finds his mark. The Peeps within one, 46 seconds to go.
46 to go indeed, and Reddles dunks this through on the kickoff. He's got a full tank to work with, needs a teammate. Arsenal's waiting, and it'll be Gyro who has to keep this ball in, but he whiffed it entirely. With 30 seconds left, Reddles has his pocket picked, and Astro will take over. More possession for RBG, trying to go underneath Gyro. Now 25, as the Peeps try to break out of their defensive end. It is Arsenal. Reddles waiting, Gyro coming on, but Aeon secures it to the corner. More time, tick-tock. 13, Reddles off of Rapid, and it's away. Now Arsenal with 7 to go, looking to carry it through, and Aeon pops us away. Arsenal one more time, Rapid a save, popped up again, and Reddles needs to keep this ball up. He barely does, but he's not gonna have any support. Arsenal now, we've seen them do this before. Go back to Manhattan last season. It's off the ceiling and finally killed by Astro. There will be no clinch this week as RBG stave off the sweep.
Holy smokes, RBG just hanging on by that proverbial thread. Holy smokes, the Peeps would not go away. They were so close. Look at the shots. 12 shots from the Peeps, only 6 from RBG. You would not expect them to win this match, but they opened up so hot that they were able to get those 2 early goals, and the Peeps just didn't have an answer, not until a minute left in the game.
4 critical saves by Rapid. I think even a couple of them at the tail end there as they stave off that furious comeback effort. And now if you're the Peeps, you put all your eggs into that basket. They were so close to having a chance at erasing all doubt for the rest of this season, but now they have to go back to the drawing board, start 0-0 in Game 4.
Yeah, thankfully they are up 2 games, so they've got Game 4, they've got Game 5. Not that they want to get there, but don't forget, we did say it wouldn't be surprising to see Game 5, and if that happens, who knows who can come out and win, because we saw greatness from RBG. It looked like the teams kind of flip-flop colors or something. It looked like the Peeps were on orange for the first half of the game, and it's just due to the fact of the great offensive plays that we were seeing from RBG, working the corner, then bringing that ball back out towards mid. Just so hard as a defender to think, where's this shot coming from?
Game 4 to Neo Tokyo we go. Aeon will kick it off against Reddles. And we are underway. Another must-win for RBG. Huge comeback effort if they're able to reverse sweep the Peeps. They've got 1 leg down. Here is Gyro. Looking for the flip reset. I don't believe he got it. Now
he got
Arsenal
it, but missed the ball. Doesn't do much.
So he only gets half credit. Reddles to center for Gyro. Aeon actually, I think, had to nudge him out of the play. Gyro will keep this alive for Arsenal and is blocked away by Astro.
Oh, they needed that badly. They were pretty low on boost, and it looks like the Peeps are just going to go right back downfield. Smart clearing plays, and the bump on the defender. Arsenal carries that ball into the net.
This is unreal. Gyro officially gets an assist for this, but this is all Arsenal getting in Astro's way, just body blocking him out, and a 1-0 lead for the Peeps.
How fun are those goals, Stacks?
They are fun to watch.
I know, I saw you jumping up and down. Pretty exciting.
Reddles trying to bank one on target. I think Astro might have got a piece. Here's Astro just not able to catch Rapid's pass. And Gyro throws this all the way down to the opposite end.
Great stop there from Astro.
Arsenal gonna have a tough time with this ball. Read it out of the corner. And Gyro there in support. Reddles runs right through Aeon, and Rapid has to make the save. That could have been dangerous for RBG, but they deny the Peeps their second goal of Game 4.
Oh, good job on Arsenal to just realize no one's back on defense. Astro has the capability of carrying that all the way into net. And speaking of the net, how about Aeon finding the upper 90?
Aeon here, right place, right time after a great feed from Rapid. Just able to beat Gyro. Not many players do, but Aeon scores off of Rapid's assist, his first point. Goals and assists being points of the series.
There we go. This is the series we were waiting for. This is the series we were expecting. Some back and forth action, just goal after goal. The offensive showcasing is on display.
Astro way up high, but the shot's gonna be wide. Gyro over to Arsenal. He's got Reddles at midfield, and Reddles gonna chase this down in the corner, but Aeon does a good job keeping that ball away from him. Aeon played further to the opposite corner, and Arsenal, well, he got a good touch, but he's taken out of the play by Rapid. No detriment to the Peeps this time, and Reddles will get this down towards Aeon. This is trouble between Aeon and Rapid. Finally, Rapid will take over.
Yeah, you called it. Definitely was trouble, and that's a rare mistake from Gyro, and his team bails him out.
Rapid is gonna want that one back. He got nothing on that shot that just fell into his lap. Now it's Aeon. See if they can recover after a missed opportunity. Gyro all the way up towards the sky. Reddles looking to bring this around in front. Arsenal lurking after the boot, but Arsenal missed it entirely. Both teams have beamed one that they wish they could have back.
Oh, and we remain tie. It was such a great heads-up play from Reddles to get rid of the defender, and a great clear from Aeon, giving them that welcome breathing room.
Reddles blocked away by Aeon, so Arsenal will have to take over. Looking for redemption, and he almost got it. Rapid and Gyro collide as Gyro plays this all the way out. And another ball played in by Reddles is over the bar. Coming on is Arsenal. He missed it again. Leaves that ball, though, for Reddles, who takes advantage of the decoy.
Yeah, I saw this goal coming from a mile away. They were so low on boost. Rapid had to try and come out of the top of the net to get a save. Arsenal either faked or missed, not too sure, but either way, Reddles capitalizes on the mistake from RBG.
If you ask him, he will say calculated. The Peeps are in front with 1:52 to go. And it's not like dropping any games hurts their chances too much of getting into that promotion tournament, but it means things are not completely in their control as they try to close this series out. Rapid needs to use all his boost to follow this play up, and he does, over top of Gyro, and Aeon finishes the job.
Just back and forth we go. There is no way a team is going to hold on to a lead for that long, and a heads-up play. You are incorrect. No, you're correct. I'm sorry. That was a heads-up play by Aeon.
You're used to saying that I'm wrong, but come on.
I'm just so
Give
used
me
to
some credit when I get one right.
You are absolutely right.
Neutral kickoff will be controlled by absolutely nobody. Finally, Gyro bringing one in for Arsenal, looking to get that goal right back. All three orange cars converge at the corner of the goal, but no harm, no foul. Now Arsenal will climb.
Heads up.
He needs someone to pass to. It's Gyro off the bar. Follow from Reddles. The rebound by Reddles gives the Peeps the lead.
All three members of the Peeps getting involved here. Look at that pass from Arsenal, and Gyro barely missing there. Astro has to respect that shot, has to go up. Comes off the crossbar as a perfect pass, and Reddles cleans up shop.
We said earlier that Reddles had to step up. 7 goals in the series. Most of them have been very loud and very important. Gyro has added 5 assists, but RBG keep coming back. They hang on by a thread, trailing now by a goal with 50 seconds left. Here's Rapid, opting not to go for the back boost. And his play on the ball has worked out to some extent. They're at least able to get control for a moment. Here's Gyro. Big drive is not able to beat Aeon.
30 seconds to go. RBG needs to get out of their half. They need to do it soon. They need some offense, and a great defensive stance from Astro, and a great challenge from Aeon coming downfield, and Rapid ties this ball game up.
Rapid does not miss on his opportunity the second time around, and we're right back to square one. Great control, does not let the moment get to him, and with 22 to go, overtime is looming in game 4. Oh, here we go, Subi. Game 4 of maybe the biggest match of the season. Gyro lobbing one downfield. That'll be bombed away by Rapid. Astro is there too.
Where did
Met
Reynolds
by
come
Reynolds. Not sure. This ball out of the corner. Reynolds is still at midfield. He's not coming back anytime soon. As Gyro clears this downfield, Arsenal for one more clear. It's towards the net, but Rapid makes sure there's no shot, and we should be headed to OT in game 4.
Woo, baby, here we go. Everything on the line for RBG. They absolutely need this game to bring it to game number 5 and keep their hopes and dreams of top 2 alive.
The Peeps have played their share of overtimes. They are battle-tested, but Reynolds missed on that test. Gyro able to bop one over the net.
And he had no boost to do so.
Brilliant play as he keeps this game going. Will he be rewarded with a goal on the other side? Maybe an assist. He'll center here. Astro has to read this from the ceiling, and he does. Reynolds for Arsenal. Won't take the shot, and it's bombed away by Aeon. Downfield, and Astro's shot denied by Gyro. He almost challenged that into the other net.
Oh my goodness, here we go. RBG starts their offensive show, and Gyros and Reynolds go ahead and kiss to get the save.
Downfield for Astro to slow things down. Rapid has to recover, and he does. All of the Peeps scrambling back. Can they stop Astro? No, but the backboard does, and Arsenal make sure there's no rebound opportunity. Reynolds had to turn around on this. He does. Throwing one
Going
up there.
in net.
Explosive Gyro misses. Follow up from Arsenal. He's done it before, but he does it this time. Rapid's in the way yet again.
All 3 RBG members were out in the box. This is so dangerous. The pass to Reynolds, and there it is. The Peeps take this series.
What a pass from Arsenal on this play. How many players, Subi, what percentage take a shot there instead of dropping it down to Reynolds?
3.97.
I think probably a much higher percentage than that as Arsenal finds Reynolds, and there you go. What is it? The 8th goal of the series for Reynolds is a clincher in game 4.
And I cannot believe this. Gyro, without a single goal for the
right?
Peeps, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
His team says, go ahead, young fella, sit back there in net. You just worry about those saves. And oh my gosh, the offense from the Peeps was incredible.
This is the Peeps team we saw last season at points, and that offense let them down at one key point last season with Manhattan, and one bad day ruined their whole season. They are one step away from finishing 5-2 again. They get the dudes later on.
I've got a question for you. As far as predictions are concerned, what are you on the day?
What am I on the day? I believe I am just about perfect.
Oh, darn it. I was about to say I got you beat there, Vince Scully, but, you know, I'm perfect as well.
Sometimes I get lucky and I get a couple right.
This is very true.
Especially when I pick the Peeps.
Hey, we didn't have Corelli out here, so there was no way they were going to lose because I picked them. But
Well-
I have to commend RBG because they made a fight out of this series. Didn't show up game 1, but games 2, 3, 4, they put on a showcase. It was very fun to watch them play.
Well, that sets the table for things to get real juicy at the top of the standings. Corelli will be out here a little bit later as the Peeps take on the dudes, but coming up next, to whet your appetite a bit, Birds and the Bees have a shot at clinching a spot in the promotion tournament. They get Upper 90 Esports. Coming up after this, don't go anywhere.
Welcome back to week number 4 of the North America Rival Series. The Peeps, if anything, they are a very exciting team. Got a little spicy there towards the end, but they are able to take the series. I'm Lauren. We made a switch on the desk. Squid, Corelli, welcome to the desk.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Happy to be here once again for the North American Rival Series. And you talked about it. I mean, the Peeps, they get wins, but they make it hard on themselves here.
It was really interesting to watch because their offense was just overwhelming their opponents throughout the entire series. But over the course of game number 3, I saw a lot of opportunities be missed. And as they go into game number 4, I'm like, uh-oh. If this somehow goes to game number 5, I do think that RBG Esports can take it. But we do see them fall here. RBG Esports, though, their story is not yet over. What changes would you like to see them make?
I think it's about finishing your chances here for RBG. The first time that we saw them a few weeks back, it was something that I pointed out of them going into the corner and kind of doing nothing with the ball. And while it's gotten better as we've seen RBG progress through the Rival Series, it really hasn't been perfect from them. And there's been some great plays, well-organized plays down the field, but for RBG, they really do need to find the back of the net more.
Yeah, their offense has had some strong spots, and we saw some progression even in that series alone against the Peeps, but there was also times where they did just kind of leave the ball in the corner, things didn't get going there in games 1 and 2, and overall, I feel like offensive improvement is always going to be on the slate for them, but as far as that's concerned, I think they're actually doing okay, but their record isn't exactly the greatest.
We'll see if they're able to make those adjustments, but now let's talk about the Birds and the Bees going into the third match up against Upper 90 Esports. Now, Birds and the Bees, we saw them take out the dudes in pretty decisive fashion. If they keep playing at that level, Upper 90, to say the very least, are going to have a tough time.
It's a scary week to play against the Birds and Bees because they do look on form. A lot of their wins, while they have come, haven't been convincing. And so dismantling the dudes earlier, if I'm Upper 90, I'm really scared. Birds and the Bees looking to clinch top 2 with this win.
Well, you say that. It's a scary week to be playing the Birds and the Bees, and I will grant you that is true, but it's just scary to play the Birds and the Bees overall. I mean, they've looked so strong plenty of times, but they have been to many Game 5s, and Upper 90 have shown that they can really play up to their opponents, so they will definitely have a fighting chance, but it's going to be an uphill battle.
For Upper 90, it is pretty much unlucky the schedule because they already go into today 1-4, and once you have 4 losses, it's almost guaranteed that you're going into the bottom 4, and it's like if there's any hope of you being able to turn it around, like you have to win and everyone else has to lose, and your first game of the day is against a team that hasn't yet lost a match. That is going to be a tall order, but I did call these guys an underdog, scrappy team. They might be able to do it. In terms of predictions, though, I'm no mind reader, but I do think I know who you guys are going to go for.
I think it's disingenuous to not pick Birds and the Bees here. They have been a dominant team in the North American Rival Series all weeks long here. And again, while they haven't really destroyed every single one of their opponents, minus the dudes that we just saw, Birds and Bees have looked consistent with their wins here. And against Upper 90, who have been struggling, even though they may be playing up and down to their opponents, they're still 1-4.
Well, I feel like Upper 90 definitely have some strong points, but I don't think it's going to be enough to take down B&B. I'm giving them the win in this series as well, but we've talked about it already. Upper 90, they definitely have a chance. But again, I'm giving it to Birds and Bees.
Birds and the Bees have been scary throughout, and I'm also going to go with them to take this series. They're pretty much punching tickets to the bottom 4. It's like, good luck in the play-ins next time because you're not taking us out. And I think they'll be able to keep that momentum going. But let's find out, will Upper 90 Esports have the upset of the season, or will the top 2 spot get clinched by the Birds and the Bees? Let's get into it.
And Lauren just touched on it here for Upper 90. If they do not win this series, they won't be able to make it into the top 4 at the bare minimum. So they will have to go back through the play-ins and that gauntlet that it has become for Rival Series. So there is something on the line here for Upper 90. Every team, if you can't clinch top 2, at least give yourself a chance in the top 4 and make that decision in the offseason.
And things tough for Upper 90 as well, but they made such a good run in the play-ins. We saw some great things, but they'd much rather not find themselves in that situation again. Let's see if they can prevent that right here. Best of 5, and Birds and Bees going to be looking to try and take this win and move even further into their undefeated run.
Well, we will find out here. Birds and Bees taking on Upper 90 kickoff. Going in favor of Birds and the Bees, but immediately back into their own side. Upper 90 have played up to their opponents. And there's been some special moments for Upper 90, but it just hasn't really come through for them this season. It's yet to be seen here in Game 1. Miss. A breakout player here for Birds and Bees. Roldiz not able to get on the end of that one. Hoxer now collects in his own corner, wins the challenge. Up to Roldiz, miss, backflips, leaves the free ball for Rodoko. Now Hoxer comes flying in. Bit of a stalemate early on, just finding the holes in the defense, the gaps in the midfield. Here's Roll Diz. This ball comes off the back wall of Birds and Bees. Miss now, trying to buy a little bit of time, but Rodoko comes flying through, finds the back of the net right off the bat, and upper 90 strike first.
Well, an attack of opportunity is definitely an attack that you'll take every day of the week. A fabulous 50-50 to put that one in the zone, and the demo worked wonders as well. Hoxer completely out of the play for that one. Respawn just a little bit too late. An early lead is going to give them some momentum. And for me, players I'm watching is, well, basically the entire BNB roster, as well as Shadow. He's been their star striker since week 1. I'm looking to see what we can find out of him as well.
Questions to be asked about Miss bringing that ball down and not doing anything with it. Now missed again, clearing this one away. Upper 90 striking first here and keeping the pressure on. No follow-up from the pass out from Democat. Rodoko retreating back. Sees Shadow take this one out and into a possession, but can't get a hold of it here. The shot comes through still. Missed. Getting in the way of that one for Birds and the Bees.
Quality defense, but right now Birds and Bees don't necessarily want to be playing defense. These 3 players that make up their roster are notorious for playing strong offensively. They have so many shots for over the course of the season. But right now, they don't have very many. They're still sitting with goose eggs.
And just under 2 minutes into this game still, lots of time for things to develop. Birds and Bees finding a little bit of time on offense here. Rodoko carrying this one out of his own end into the offensive corner. Hoxer forced to deal with it. Picked up. Here's Shadow. Can't get the shot off Hoxer. Now Rodoko met by Roldiz with no boost here, trying to win a second challenge. Upper 90 still pressing on. And this one's going to come across the box. An attacker was there. Hoxer, a late clear comes through. Birds and the Bees looking a little disorganized on defense right now, and Upper 90 taking advantage.
I feel like this might be a little bit of a case that Birds and Bees maybe not necessarily expecting competition. Rolled is not quite. That one's going to be off the mark, but that's not the best clear. Off the post, and Rodoko will have it away. First quality opportunity for BNB.
Again, off the crossbar once more. So a couple opportunities for Birds and Bees, but hitting the frame. Now Upper 90 looking to strike the pass out, but it's blocked off by his own teammate. Upper 90 spoil a chance in the box. There's a shot again, turned away by Roll Diz. Things heating up now for Upper 90. More and more pressure coming through. Birds and Bees have not done well to deal with it. Rodoko with no boost. Beats one. Into the midfield. Birds and Bees trying to get a grasp on this game. Rodoko once more. Finds a teammate and out. But Roll Diz there to meet it in midfield. Miss comes flying through, and now Hoxer has a chance on target. Roll Diz is going to go. Can he drop it down? Rodoko gets bumped away. Miss comes through to put it away, and Birds and the Bees tie it up.
Team plays have been their strong suit all season long, and they finally get one. It's assisted by Roll Diz and Hoxer with such a brilliant bump, getting the last man out of the way there, and that's really been the first team play they've been able to make on the offensive end. They're sitting on 6 shots now in comparison to Upper 90's 5, but so much fight out of the Upper 90 squad so far is leading to a rather competitive game number 1.
So a tie game here in game 1. Birds and Bees finally get one to drop. And a shot comes out from Hoxer, excuse me, it's weak, and Rodoko. And Upper 90 trying to break out from their own end now, missed. Breaking up the defense, the follow-up there from Hoxer. Can't find it. Roll Diz still staying with the ball now. Hoxer popping this one up. Missed, opts not to go. Play it safe. Wait for Upper 90 to give it back up. Shadow prevents the clear from Miss. Force Hoxer to go. Miss still on the ball here. Can he get the touch? He can. It's just high over the net. The follow-up's there from Roll Diz, but he goes over the net once more. Inaccuracy plaguing Birds and Bees right now.
And Upper 90 is going to be counting their blessings for that one. And honestly, they're just trying to play more offense at all. So the fact that Birds and Bees aren't capitalizing on their opportunities is more than enough to satiate their appetite right about now. Shadow with almost a good play there. Not quite. But now Birds and Bees keep continually closing the gap between the ball and the goal line, and it's concerning for Upper 90 to say the very least.
The setup from Birds and the Bees has been so good, but have not been able to convert into a goal-scoring opportunity. A shot again just over the mark here. Roll Diz gets a piece of it, and a poor clear comes out. Now Democat puts it to the Birds and Bees corner. The shot comes out across the box. No one there to follow up from Upper 90. Here's Rodoko into the corner. Hoxer trying to deal with this ball, but he's got no boost. Miss comes to help him out. Last second And this one's going to drop. We have overtime in game number 1.
This reset might be really nice for Upper 90, not going to lie. They could definitely use a little bit more starting out on the offense. As I mentioned earlier, Birds and the Bees have slowly been moving the ball downfield farther and farther, and Hawks with a double tap. There it is.
Roll Diz able to put that one away, and it's coming off the back wall here. Hawkser able to get the second touch to drop it down to beat that first defender. Miss goes in for the demo, or at least the bump on Rodoko opens up the space for Roll Diz to come through, and Birds and the Bees take game 1.
Both of their goals, complete team plays, one going off the backboard, one going in for the shot, and one going in for the bump. And I'd like to see all 3 of their players get involved. 2 saves for all of them for a total of 6. And honestly, I have to commend Birds and the Bees. They did such a good job of making sure that they just kind of reacted to what Upper 90 was doing in the first half. Got that 1 goal against, was a little bit of pressure on them for the longest time, but they managed to push it to OT. No big deal, and they were able to handle it.
It was a scary start, for Birds and Bees. It felt like Upper 90 had a lot more of the pressure, a lot more shots coming through, a couple close calls for Birds and the Bees. They were able to break out and get a little bit more of a foothold in this game. And then things started to shift. Upper 90 felt the pain on defense, and slowly but surely Birds and Bees found that space, especially on that last goal there in overtime, in the midfield to set up the plays. Roll Diz, all he has to do is tap it home.
And one of Upper 90's real strengths is that they're able to break out on offense and make their opponents realize that they may have underestimated their opponents a little bit, but at the same time, Upper 90 getting closed out after trying to bring out their one ace in their sleeve kind of caused a couple of issues, because obviously Birds and Bees suddenly just started playing their game, putting shot after shot on target, and eventually you're going to break down after that one, getting bump plays as well for Birds and Bees. They were working as a complete unit, and while they weren't necessarily making too quick a passing plays straight to each other, they were making the plays that were necessary in order to score goals. And we should note, we didn't touch on this earlier, but BNB will clinch a #1 spot with a win here.
And Upper 90 just trying to stay alive in the top 4 at this point. And a player that we haven't mentioned too much here in this series is Shadow. He's been a standout player for Upper 90, but very quiet in game number 1. Looking to turn that around, but Birds and Bees, they're going to strike first here off the kickoff, and they're up by 1.
And again, a bump play on the last man back. This has to be annoying for Upper 90. I would say heartbreaking, but it's probably more just on the scale of, okay, we're getting a little bit annoyed right now. You're just going for bumps every single time, but it's worked every single time, so who's to tell them that they can't do that? You're talking about players that haven't exactly been loud for Upper 90. I'm also looking at DemoCat. We haven't said his name too many times either.
So looking to respond is Upper 90. A close opportunity there, but a big clear comes out, missed, and Roll Diz in pursuit. The demo comes through from Hawkser, so a little bit of space opens up for Shadow. Tries to go past 1, wins the challenge, is still going towards net. Hawkser forced to go up and clear this one out. Now the demo on Roll Diz. So space opening up for Upper 90 with these demolitions. Now Rodoko trying to find this one across, but Roll Diz shuts that down. Missed. Linking up with Hawkser downfield. Roll Diz tries to get the dunk. Is unable to do so, but the ball comes straight back to him, drops it down to Miss. It's a perfect setup. Can Miss put it away? No. Shadow gets in front of that one. Another beautifully set up play from Birds and Bees. They can't convert.
And another opportunity right there as Hawkser tried to find Mist with a pass. That one didn't work out either. And I noted from the last match, they never really made too well direct lateral passes. This time, it seems to be a bit more of a theme. But as well, we should note that Upper 90, going for a couple of physical plays, might be trying to change up their game plan in whatever way they can to try and not give up this series.
This ball's still bouncing around, and the Birds and Bees half finally cleared out. Upper 90 there to respond. Hawkser on the clear to Roll Diz, shot. Blocked away by Rodoko, still a dangerous ball. Here's Miss floating in the air. Can he drop it down? A tough save comes out once again. A hard shot hit with pace from Miss. And still Birds and Bees on. Miss again. Accidentally side flips there, maybe opts not to go. As the pass was hit a little bit hard there. Rodoko tries to get the flip reset, not able to do so, but steals away a boost.
And it feels like for Birds and the Bees right now, they're just trying not to overcommit on the offense. They saw what Upper 90 were capable of in the first minute of the last match, and their decision seems to have been just get 1 goal, maybe a couple, but always keep a man at the midfield line. Never overcommit. Roll Diz for the shot, and the follow from Hawkser will be blocked away, but only barely, and that's also a common theme.
A couple more shots come out from Birds and Bees. Upper 90 hanging on by a thread. Goal line saves coming through. Now Democat has a free shot, a miss on the back wall from the last defender, and Upper 90 are back in it.
And give credit to Democat for this one. It can be very difficult to focus on making the aerial touch when somebody's coming off the backboard like that, so he's ready when Hawkser misses that one. Clutch play. Democat tying up the game for him, but they still got more than half to play, and they need another one.
And at this level, you expect that last defender on the wall to get the touch, so Democat keeping poise, like you said, to put that one away. Upper 90, maybe finding new life here. This ball thrown downfield. Rodoko there to meet it, drops it down into his own corner. This one's still dangerous though. Hawkser there to meet it, now Miss trying to pick this one up. Great prediction there from Democat. See that ball played up into the wall. Here's Roll Diz, past one. Looking for a second touch, finding that back wall. Does it drop down? It does, but Miss not able to make contact on it. Hawkser still in pursuit. The shot goes off the crossbar, but Roll Diz is there to put it away.
And this is a trait that all of the BMB players share. They're able to make these reads off the backboard, no matter if it's going to bounce off the crossbar and down or not. And it's so difficult when it's placed in that spot. You're in Roll Diz's position, and you're thinking, I don't really know exactly how this is going to go. Not Roll Diz. He knows exactly what's going to happen with that ball. Being consistent with those backboard reads can be incredibly difficult, but they're able to do it.
Birds and Bees take the lead once more here in game 2. Just under 2 minutes left. Time for Upper 90 to make a comeback, or time for Birds and Bees to build that lead. A bump comes out from Roll Diz. A back wall pass, and it's a tough save from Hawkser. The follow-up's there. But now the counterattack's on for Birds and Bees. Missed, racing down the sideline, not able to beat Democat, but it's a poor clear as Birds and Bees pressing on. Can't seem to find the shot.
And it almost seemed a little bit like a bait on their own goal line. Upper 90 got it so close that it seemed like most of their players' vision went red with the lust of trying to score that goal, and suddenly the Birds and Bees just made a counterattack on that one. So I almost wonder if letting it get so close to the goal line was a calculated maneuver.
Missed. A free ball here, picking it up, tries to go under one. Upper 90 there to meet it. Here's Shadow now. Clear off the ceiling, gets a little bit of help from his teammate downfield. Less than a minute left here. Upper 90 trying to tie up this game, and it could be there. It drops in front of the net for Democat, and Birds and Bees get smacked around, and it's a tie game.
I love this play from Upper 90 because there's one man in the net, and Rodoko is out here just trying to play bumping cars. I mean, Hawkser is down in the net, and the first thing that he sees is Rodoko coming at him, just trying to run interference in any way possible. A great pop-up from the wall as well, made it so much more difficult to make the play off the goal line, and he can count on his teammates to be there. Birds and the Bees having some significant trouble trying to read their opponents right now.
40 seconds left, and Upper 90 making a case for game 2. This one's gonna go off the post, no follow-up for Upper 90. Birds and Bees get away with one, and a big challenge here as nobody wins it. Shadow comes through off the crossbar, a big save comes out. Now Democat's up, can he find the target? No, saved away by Hawkser. Less than 30 seconds left, and Birds and Bees race downfield. It's returned by Rodoko. And miscommunication there in front of the net. Birds and Bees get away with it. Upper 90 trying to punish now with the space they were given. 10 seconds left now. Birds and Bees have the opportunity. Democat doesn't make the touch. Hawkser throws this one to the Upper 90 corner. It's dropped down in front of the net. Everyone's got to go for Upper 90. We've got overtime in game 2.
Number 2 in terms of overtimes, and I'd like to see it. Upper 90 with plenty of life in the second half of this game. Not going down without a fight in any sense of the word. We'll look out for Hawkser going for the foot reset. Did not get it. And thankfully they'll be able to get it away and survive for these first 10 seconds. But is it going to stay that way for very long?
Roll Diz, he connects and he ends the game in 15 seconds. Birds and Bees take game 2.
Well, I guess that's one easy way to answer my question. A nice 50-50 win there from Miss, and Rodoko caught a little bit far forward on that one. Allows for an easy aerial for Roll Diz. He does those in his sleep. And now Birds and Bees, 2 wins, 2 overtimes. And Upper 90 have a habit of losing or winning games by just 1 goal, and that seems to be holding true here, but they don't have any wins, which is the important part. Birds and Bees putting on so many shots, which is something we were talking about earlier on. If Upper 90 is not able to slow that down, they're going to have some issues, and, well, there you go.
And that is the result. Birds and Bees now sitting 1 game away from clinching top 2 here in the North American Rival Series. You feel like it's all but over here. But Upper 90 now have to pull off the reverse sweep. And remember, we talked about Upper 90. There is something on the line here. If they don't win this series, then it's not, I don't think they're going to be able to make top 4 here. And that's important. When you can't make top 2, you want to shoot for top 4 at least. And for Upper 90 now, they have to pull off a reverse sweep against the best team in the North American Rival Series. It's not an easy job.
And the unfortunate truth is that when you're looking at having to go through the play-ins again, usually that means that, well, you weren't necessarily the strongest team, which means you're going to have more difficulty trying to play into the Rivals Series. So it's going to be a little bit dicey, but they have shown signs of life. We mentioned that it's been 2 games now, both 1-goal games, however, and Upper 90 they're tenacious. I believe that they really have the energy to come out and keep competing with Birds and the Bees, but things not looking so hot at the moment.
And it is a typical Birds and Bees game. While they're not crushing Upper 90, they are winning in both overtimes, and on paper, they look like they're going to take this series at a 2-0 mark right now, looking for the sweep. So Birds and Bees looking to close out this series, pack up and go home, and start preparing for the promotion tournament. And for Upper 90, trying to stay alive here. Game 3. Upper 90 pushing this one down the field. Met by Miss and Hoxer, but a free shot on target. Excuse me, not on target, as that one goes high. Upper 90 spoil away their first chance. Hoxer now with no boost, trying to make that defender guess. A big miss comes out. Rodoko there to clean up. Roll Diz. A skirmish in the midfield right now to get possession. It is missed with a drive on target, and he puts that one away. Birds and the Bees up by 1.
And this goal against has to be an absolute heartbreaker for Upper 90. I mentioned that the first goal of game number 2 wasn't necessarily a heartbreaker, but this one definitely will be. Shadow came so close to saving that one, and there was no opposing interference, as well as missing that first open net opportunity. You know that their hopes got to be a little bit down in the dumps right about now.
Well, they have 4 minutes and 20 seconds to get back into it for Upper 90. And it's a long road ahead if they're going to come back in this series. Birds and Bees on the attack once more. Here's Mist. Drops this one down right off the crossbar. Roll Diz. He's just been picking everything up that drops in the box, but can't put that one away. Ball comes right back to him. He's got no boost. Tries to pop it up for Mist here. Rodoko read that one nicely. And the follow-up from Shadow. He puts that one on target. Nobody home from Birds and the Bees. Everyone sucked into their own offense here. And Upper 90 tie up the game.
Well, maybe you didn't have necessarily the best angle on the ball for the first shot. You weren't able to put it on target. That's okay. We're going to give you another chance, and he definitely made use of it. But again, Upper 90 are famous for their 1-goal games, and so far this series, that hasn't exactly favored them. So I'm looking to see if they can move this forward and try and take the lead. But a great flick from Hoxer is going to ensure that doesn't happen.
And Hoxer just taking advantage of the space that he has off this kickoff. You can see that man back behind Upper 90 flans out to the left. Hawks are able to pick this up uncontested, and he's just got to beat the first defender, which he does. Birds and the Bees take the lead once more.
It was a great catch as well. He had to be quick getting on that ball because it was about to fall to the ground, and he wouldn't have had time to get that flick off. Shadow was not expecting it, I'll give you that.
So Birds and the Bees find themselves back into the lead. Missed here with full boost. Now Shadow tries to pick up this ball, and again, Shadow has been very quiet here in this series. Hasn't been pulling off the plays that we've expected and what we've seen from him so far. Democat goes under 1, tries to pinch it off the ground into the net. Mist gets in the way of that. Hoxer and Mist, they have Roll Diz to their right, but they just can't get it to him. Hoxer trying to go once more. And a big bump comes out. Can they put it away? Everyone from Upper 90 goes across the net there. Patience for Birds and Bees, knowing when to strike is so important for them, not overcommitting. This one again, going off the crossbar. Upper 90 have given up a lot of space to Birds and Bees. And they have taken advantage of it. Roll Diz off the back wall, looking for the follow-up. Hoxer pauses, goes over 1, picks it up, just scoops it away from Upper 90. And still, the possession kept for Birds and Bees. And they might find the target here as, Shadow has to come through and shut that one down. But the control from Birds and the Bees has been superior.
There's no other way to put that. Birds and the Bees have been on the offensive end for what seems like a majority of these 3 games so far. They've got 6 shots already this game, and they've been just putting shot after shot on so far. The lead has really been kept to 1 or 2 the entire series long, but there's no doubt that they definitely seem like the upper hand team in this series so far. We haven't seen too much out of the Upper 90 offense, but I have to say they're doing a good job given the circumstances.
2 minutes left now for Birds and Bees to close out this series, sitting with a 1-goal lead. And quite frankly, it feels like it should be more at this point. With the amount of pressure they had, the defense has stood strong for Upper 90. While there's been a few close calls, they've only given up 2. Here's Mist. Over to Hoxer, finds the back wall again. Now Roll Diz popping this one up, but nobody from Birds and Bees up for that one. Upper 90 throws it downfield. Hoxer tries to go over one. He gets the demo, maybe a follow-up here off the ceiling. It comes down to Roll Diz, he's there. Shadow to clear that one away, but you can see the control from Birds and Bees. Every time the ball's cleared out from Upper 90, it's met by Birds and Bees. And Upper 90 just have no control right now.
Well, the key is when they do find those control spots. We've seen them make very good use of it, and a shot here from Rodoko elaborates upon my point. He only had one chance to hit this ball, and he did exactly what he needed to.
And Rodoko, out of nowhere, scores a goal. We've been praising Birds and Bees on offense, but really it just took that one moment for Upper 90 to come through here, and they tie up the game late. We said it a couple times. You can have all the offense you want if you're not going to score. Then it opens up the opportunities here for Upper 90 to get back into the series, and that's exactly what they're doing here. A minute left now. And it's back to business for Birds and Bees, but they've got to find the target.
And for Upper 90, let's not maybe look at a third overtime. This is actually the same scenario we had when they played off against the Dudes, where they went to a 2-2 overtime 3 times and lost all 3 times. So I'm kind of asking the question, is that going to happen again? Oh, Rodoko, I like the idea, and another opportunity for a demo
save. Tough save coming out from Hoxer there, backwards. That attacker could hit it anywhere. 30 seconds left, and Birds and Bees seeing the most pressure they've felt maybe in the whole series here, as Upper 90 really sticking it to them now. And a big bump, this ball's just gonna roll across the net there. Big sigh of relief from Birds and Bees. Hoxer has to make another save. Birds and Bees now hanging on by a thread. A demo comes out on Hoxer, opens up the space. This could be it for Upper 90. The pass across to Democat. Maybe another opportunity. Goes for the bump across the net, but nobody's there for Upper 90. And Birds and Bees happy to clear that one away. We might have a third overtime.
And you can tell right there that their third man did not want to be anywhere close to that play, just in case a BMB player was able to boom it downfield. Third overtime, they have to clutch up right here. Their overtime performance, not necessarily the best, but hey, there's a first time for everything.
Upper 90 might have the first chance there, missed. Gets a nice touch off the back wall. 20 seconds into overtime. Hoxer picks this one up, goes past one, tries to go past 2 here in the corner. Now Mist goes. Hoxer to follow it up. Mist is there. Can he get the touch? He can. He puts it away for Birds and the Bees, and they take down Upper 90 in 3 games.
And what a way to end it. A great angle here from Mist. Hoxer just hitting that ball any way he can.
Oh my
Mist
goodness.
using the back the back left-hand corner of his car at the most strange angle I think we've seen so far this season. And that was a fantastic angle, a fantastic performance from Upper 90. I will give it to him. They managed to hold Birds and Bees to a 1-goal game 3 times, but they were never able to take a game off of them.
So Birds and the Bees will clinch a top 2 spot here in the North American Rival Series. They take down Upper 90 in 3 games, but they were not easy games here. At least they were close for Birds and Bees, and maybe that last game we felt like Birds and Bees might have outplayed Upper 90 for the most part. It doesn't matter. When it's that close, Upper 90, they hung in there.
It does feel like Birds and the Bees may have been letting off the gas a little bit in game number 1, but realistically, it looked like they were just going for a more controlled game, trying to make sure that Upper 90 couldn't make use of the offense that we've seen out of them before. They've had some pretty crushing appearances, especially week 1 against the Peeps. That was really their time to shine. Birds and Bees were taking a step back and making sure nothing like that had the potential to happen. They just wanted this win as much as possible, so they were going to play it safe.
And they did get this win. Birds and Bees, they clinched top 2, but that's only one of the top 2 teams here in the North American Rival Series, and the next matchup has implications. It's your favorite boys from North America, the Dudes and the Peeps. It's going to be a great match. Stick with us.
But somehow I keep running back to you, back to you, back to long nights can get me feeling lonely. Hey.
swing. But one thing still remains on my mind. I know that you'd be bad from the minute I saw you. But somehow I keep running back to you. Back to you. I know that you'd be bad, bad, bad. I know that you'd be bad, bad, bad. I know that you'd be bad, bad, bad. I know that you'd be bad.
Upper 90 Esports, a scrappy team, continues to punch above their weight class. I'm always impressed every time we see them. They're just not able to close out series, and against a team of the caliber of Birds and the Bees, definitely going to be a struggle. Multiple overtimes, though. Really impressed with both sides, but I have to say, Birds and the Bees actively styling on kids. The paint me like one of your French girls slides at the end there for Mist, definitely put an exclamation point on that. Excellent series all around.
It is an excellent series from Birds and Bees because they come out with a 3-0, and on paper, that's great. But for Birds and Bees, I do have question marks about the clutch factor for them. While they have been able to clutch up here in the rival series a few times with some game 5s, with some overtimes, you really can't do that every single time you step on the field. And when you start playing teams that come down from the RLCS, those teams will not let you stay around.
Well, I'm going to just quote Wavepunk a little bit, and is you can go to game 5 and overtime all you want, but as long as you win, then does it really matter that much? And I suppose that's going to be my counterpoint, but I agree. It's kind of odd that they seem to choose to go to game 5 a lot of the time.
It wasn't the clean 3-0 hard sweep that we might have expected, but still Birds and the Bees are able to win both of their matches today. The Peeps, though, the last match of the day, this is going to be huge implications all the way around. The Peeps are very close to potentially clinching that top 2 spot.
So there are a few scenarios here for the Peeps. If they win 3-0 here against the Dudes, only the Pittsburgh Embers can catch them for that top 2 spot. And if the Embers drop a single game, the Peeps clinch. If the Peeps win 3-1, again, only the Embers can catch them, but Embers can lose 2 games, and then the Peeps clinch. If the Peeps win 3-2 here, then both RBG and the Embers are kept alive, and the top 2 spot will depend on the RBG Embers matchup tomorrow. So for the Peeps, they do have to win. They don't control their destiny, but they can put good money on Embers at least dropping a game going forward.
And thank you for the quick lecture there, Dr. Corelli.
You're
Thank you very much. And for the Dudes, this is also kind of a must-win match because losing this one would imply that you're going 1-4, which is not necessarily a favorable record if you're trying to keep that top 4 spot. So things on the line for both of these teams. The Peeps want, of course, to win this out as hard as they can, so that way they can try to get as close to clinching that spot as is possible. For the Dudes, they just want to stay alive in the Rivals series. So, I mean, things on the line here.
If this was a 3-2 finish in favor of the Peeps, I actually feel most bad for Stacks because he's been in the back. Like, he's pretty much your math calculation reaction gift that you might see on the internet. He's just like trying to figure all this stuff out. In terms of predictions, though, who do you think's taking the series? Do you think the Dudes are going to be able to muster up the courage?
No, I think the Peeps are going to do it. Look, I love both these
All right,
teams.
all right.
They've been staples in the rival series. The Dudes have a long-standing tenure here. The Peeps have been here for a couple seasons, and they've played each other a couple times. They actually played each other, at least the teams have, in the play-ins 2 play-ins ago. So there's some history between these two teams, a lot of the similar players. But for the Peeps, it's too big to go home at this point. I think they can do it here against the Dudes. They've looked good, and I have the Peeps.
I am also going to have the Peeps, and you were talking about how they have some history together. It's time for Reynolds to prove that he made the right move coming off of the Dudes roster, and I think he's going to be able to do that. They look fairly solid in their first match of the day, and I have their backs all the way. I want to see them take that top 2 spot.
I also think that the Peeps are going to be able to take this series. I compare Upper 90 Esports to the Dudes in that they have similar win-loss records, but Upper 90, they play like they want it. They play like they can take some of the top teams to overtime. We just saw them do that against the Birds and the Bees, and it just seems like the Dudes never truly believe in themselves. If they are able to do that, they might be able to surprise us, but the Peeps, they're definitely looking for that top 2 spot. Let's find out. Last match of the day. It is going to be one finish. Gentlemen, let's get into it.
Lots of implications here for the Peeps and a lot of pressure. And we talked about this team in pressure and what happens to them and their mental space coming into big matchups here. But they know that if they can come out with just a win, they give themselves a very good chance to finish top 2.
And if they do, Stacks can finally take off the tin hat and get back down to brass tacks. But in all reality, the Peeps they got to feel pretty confident about this one if they want to take the win. The Dudes are a tough matchup, and I got the chance to talk to Reynolds, actually, and he said to expect them in the promo playoffs, so they have confidence. Let's see if they can put that to good use. Best of 5. Let's get underway.
Kickoff underway. Ralph and Arsenal. It goes in favor of Joe Freshness and the Dudes. In this best of 5. Reynolds clears this one in front of the net. Ralph is going to steal that one away, and Dudes strike in the first 9 seconds.
Well, we had confidence in the Peeps. They have confidence in themselves, so the Dudes are going to try and shut that down as fast as possible. Bit of a miscommunication there on the goal line. Gyro going for that one, and Ralph will punish for it, but it's only 9 seconds in, not with 9 seconds left, so still plenty of time to correct it.
Not a good start if you're a Peep. First 10 seconds going in favor of the Dudes. Here's Joe Freshness. Skills. That ball cut out by the Peeps defense, and Reynolds almost got a touch there. Ralph now looking to score on both ends of the field as he puts it wide of his own net. And with a little bit of boost, just trying to carry this one out, met by Reddles, who slams his face into it. And still a tough ball to deal with. Not a lot of boost to work with. This is a dangerous ball. Can Gyro drop it down? The follow-up's there. Arsenal's going to put it away, and the Peeps tie up the game.
An open backboard is an open net, as I like to say. And when you commit 2 players for it and don't make contact at all, you're going to have a lot of trouble. Completely easy for Arsenal to put that one through. And you know what? I'm getting a little bit of a tingling in the back of my mind. Stacks is telling me to let you know that Ralph finally scored a goal. Congratulations, Ralph.
30 seconds later, the Peeps respond back. This ball drops down in front of Skills. He puts it over the net. Ralph is there to follow it up, and it's going in for the Dudes and Ralph, and they take back the lead.
Ralph scored for the first time in a while with 9 seconds off of the clock, and he's scoring again here. He's looking to try and carry the Dudes as far as he can. Great interference from Skills causes havoc on the goal line. The Peeps at the deficit now. Can they come back from this one? We're looking at a potentially high-scoring game here, Corelli.
Ralph running over the Peeps right now.
Choo-choo.
Opportunity, and he's putting it away. We're not even a minute in here. This ball just bouncing in front of the Peeps goal. Throw downfield by Arsenal. This one's going to be high. Can he get the second touch? No, but the follow-up's there. It goes high once more, and the Peeps forced to retreat back. The Dudes get the clear. This ball cleared into the Peeps corner. Ralph trying to push this one on. Joe Freshness goes up. Didn't have the angle, but pushes it off the back wall. But still the attack fizzles out.
And for the Dudes right now, I'm looking to see, we saw a couple of goals from Ralph already.
Oh.
Nice save there from Joe Freshness, but Ralph has already come to the forefront a little bit. And they said, Reynolds said how they wanted to stop out Skills. He's really their offensive powerhouse, but at the same time, watching their performance from the DreamHack qualifiers, they being the Dudes, they had a very strong duo in Ralph and Joe Freshness, and Ralph is already scoring some, so I'm worried about the potential for that offensive powerhouse.
Well, here comes Skills, throws this ball at the target of the Peeps. Arsenal turns that one away, and for the Peeps now trying to collect in their own corner again. Dangerous ball as this one's over to Skills. He's got Joe Freshness. Could he drop it down? No, not good enough. The Dudes finding a lot of control in the final third. The Peeps getting bullied around a little bit. A few demos come out. Opportunity there, but given away. As this ball rolls up the wall, Skills with full boost. Lets Ralph come through. Ralph almost able to land on that ball and disrupt the defense. Reynolds goes over one. The follow-up there from Arsenal, read perfectly by Skills. Joe Freshness tries to put this one back towards the middle. Ralph gets bullied away from the ball here. So a stalemate as both teams jockeying for position. Here's Arsenal on a big save there from Ralph, finding a lot of shots and opportunity for the Dudes. Now Ralph once more finds the back wall. It drops down. Joe Freshness can't get an angle on it. And for the Peeps right now, feeling a lot of pressure.
Yeah, they really got to move this one downfield and fast. They're starting to become a lot of boost control in favor of the Dudes. Almost a shot on there. And they've been boxing out the Peeps so effectively. Finally, a ball on the blue half. Maybe they can pick up some boost, get reset. They still got 2 minutes to try and put another goal on the board.
Skills gets the demo. But it's another Peep. Arsenal in the way. A minute and 45 seconds left here in this game. Dudes do find themselves in the lead. And here comes a pass across. Gyro gets removed with that demolition, and it slows down the attack. Dudes the other way. Gyro trying to pass this one on. He does. Joe Freshness there to meet it in front of his net. The follow-up's there. Here's a shot turned away. It's going to bounce down dangerously. Skills got to get up. He does and clears it away to his own corner.
And finally, some decent pressure from the Peeps. Are not able to convert on it, and a great 50-50 from Skills to get it away. Such solid defense from the Dudes, and we just need to see more of the Peeps on offense. They know that they can manage to deal with this kind of defense, but they absolutely have to move downfield in the next 60 seconds.
Peeps looking to tie this game up late. A minute left now. The Dudes have been pressing on, and great clears coming out from them. Another one there from Skills that just forces the Peeps to deal with it. This one off the back wall. The follow-up's there. Skills getting in the way of that one. Time ticking down for the Peeps. Another long clear. And a poor touch there from Ralph, but it does go straight down to Joe Freshness. Not a lot of boost to work with here. Looking for Skills across the box. And can't find the target.
Right now, the Dudes are looking very confident in their gameplay. They haven't had to play too much defense in the latter half of game number one. The Peeps are in charge of their destiny right about now. Final 30 seconds of gameplay, and they absolutely have to move downfield. We haven't seen nearly enough offense from them.
The stop comes out. Joe Freshness now Turned away, coming up on 10 seconds left. Joe Freshness gets the touch to the corner. Dudes are happy to sit on their 1-goal lead if they have to. The Peeps haven't really been able to generate too much offense here. Time ticking down now into 0-second time. All of the Peeps are up here. Arsenal waiting for it to come down, and it's going to drop in front of them. The Dudes take game number 1.
The Dudes had so much control this match, I have to say. As much as I'm a fan of the Peeps, it didn't really look like they were able to do much with the ball and in the way of possession at all. The Dudes on their own half, on the offensive half, in the midfield, just about wherever they were beating the Peeps to the ball. They were winning 50-50s. They were getting boost control as well. That's an important part of keeping the possession alive as well on the offensive end. They outmatched them for shots. They almost outmatched them for saves, regardless of the lack of offense that we saw from the Peeps. And overall, just not the strongest game that we've seen from the Peeps. I've been told that, Dudes have some pretty strong results against the Peeps, but I still think they're going to be able to win this one out. Adjustments need to be made, however.
Yeah, there is a lot of history between these two teams, so they know everything that makes them tick between both of them. And the Peeps this time in game number 1 not coming out on top. Dudes doing such a good job, and really it was Ralph coming alive here. 5 shots, 2 goals to his name early on in this game, and then following it up 30 seconds later. So for the Dudes, it was a great start, and then they hung on to their lead even when the Peeps strike back. So for the Peeps, you talked about it, they do need to make some changes. They do need to find the back of the net a little bit more here because they haven't created too many chances. It felt like the Dudes were in a lot more control.
Yeah, and Riddles, I'm looking at you to lead the way there because in the first series that we saw out of you today, he was on fire. He had something, I believe I heard 7 goals or more. That was a statistic I heard in the middle of the series. Thanks, Stax, for that one, by the way. But still, he was kind of going off on the offense earlier. We saw some nerves out of Arsenal and Gyro and Riddles, but I have faith that they're going to be able to pull this one back if they put their mind to it.
Well, let's see if they can put the ball in the goal here as Peeps really do want the win here. It would help them out quite a bit. And with the dropped game here, the Pittsburgh Embers get a little bit more breathing room for them. So a lot of implications for many teams here with the Peeps dropping this first game. And it gets even hairier if Peeps were to drop this series, but we're not there yet. Game 2. And Peeps finding some offense here, at least control in the final third. Dudes forced to just throw it downfield. Here's Skills, but he keeps it on his own side. Nobody on the right side of the field for the Dudes. Peeps trying to get a hold of it. This is a shot on target. A crazy angle comes out and it goes in for Arsenal out of nowhere.
Sometimes the best double taps aren't in the air, and here's Arsenal to give you a display of that one. Excellent angle coming off the corner wall, and Ralph almost had a piece of that one. Well, he actually had a pretty good piece of that one, but couldn't quite get it out of the net. This is a strong way for the Peeps to open up, and let's see if they can keep more offense moving. The first game loss had to be a bit of a confidence hit for them, but having the lead early on here might do them wonders.
And they are, it feels like a team for the Peeps that they do play off their emotions and play off of their momentum here, and getting the first goal, striking first and setting the tone in game 2 is exactly what you need if you're a Peep right now. Arsenal carries over 1. The touch from Reynolds just wide, looking for a follow-up. Gyro met by Joe Freshness. Can Reynolds put this one away? No, he puts it off the sidewall. Nobody in the net for the Dudes, and the Peeps can't find it.
And I don't want Reynolds to be too down on himself for that one. He made a great play keeping the ball moving upfield. Even though he couldn't put the initial redirect on target, it gave them a significant amount of control and allowed for the shot to happen in the first place. So I want them to look at that as a win, and here's Reynolds. He's going to make up for it. A minute and a half is gone, and the Peeps lead with 2.
Yeah, not getting down on it is Reynolds here, and Arsenal just pops this one up, and you can see the goalie, Ralph, just had no idea where he could put it, and hit to the left side there. Reynolds puts it away, and the Peeps up by 2.
So much more control from the Peeps as well. That was one of the things I noted at the end of game number 1, is the Dudes were just faster. They were winning 50-50s. They had boost control, etc. The Peeps have really turned that quite around. They've been faster to the ball. They've been winning a couple of key 50-50s, and their boost isn't exactly that low. But Ralph is going to get a response. That's 3 goals from now in this series. All 3 that the Dudes have had so far.
Ralph picking up his 3rd in the series, like you said, and Joe Fresh just puts a laser off the back wall. Gyro couldn't react to it, and then Ralph puts it by. The Dudes respond back.
This is what I was talking about. This is what we saw in the DreamHack qualifier. Ralph and Joe Freshness as a passing duo. And oh boy, they might be about to light up. We'll have to see.
3 minutes remain here. Lots of time for both these teams. Gyro to the Dudes' corner. A big miss comes out. The bump tries to come through as well on Ralph. Forced to make not the best save. Arsenal's in here just bullying everyone. And again, Gyro getting some bumps. So Peeps getting physical, and it might pay off. Arsenal with no boost lets Gyro come through. And now with full boost, here comes Arsenal. Can he get a second touch? He's got to climb the ladder here, but he can't get to it. And a shot comes down from Gyro. The Peeps find their third goal.
And they're just on striking avenue right about now because they're putting about everything that they get on target regardless of whether or not there's a goalie in the net. And on that note, let's talk about the physical plays because we saw plenty of them just a moment ago, and that actually plays havoc with the ability of the dudes to try and go grab boost. We saw Ralph making a subpar save simply because Gyro was bullying him too much to even go get a penny, but an easy goal here for Skills. Finally another player other than Ralph scoring, but this is not the way you really want to do it.
Skills sneaks one by. Arsenal goes with the fake challenge, and Skills immediately shoots it when he sees it, and Arsenal couldn't get back around there on the near post. So off the kickoff, dudes get a freebie, and it's off great skill coming out from Skills. And here they come once more, the dudes, looking to tie this one up. Ralph gets in the way. This ball carried up by Arsenal, met by Skills once more. And here comes Reynolds. Can he knock it down? Can't get contact there for the Peeps. And demo comes out. We talked about it. Peeps getting more and more physical, opening up that space. This one popped around. Can Reynolds find it? No. Skills gets in the way of it the last second. Arsenal tries to get by one, but Ralph is a brick wall. Drop down from Arsenal, but no follow-up from Gyro as he's low on boost. One pad to play with. Now Reynolds. Again off the back wall, but nobody there. The dudes finally breaking out from their O and N. It felt like the Peeps really had them locked in. Now an opportunity may arise. Ralph can't get on top of that one.
I'm wondering about the consistency of the Peeps demo plays right about now because we saw a couple of attempts to make use of the physical aspect of the game, which is something we saw plenty of in their game last week against Plot Twist, but so far it's been a little bit few and far between when they're trying to make those plays, and the dudes still have plenty of time to try and gain control. A good shot opportunity there for Skills, but it will be sent away.
Gyro fighting to stay with the play there as there were players in front of him from the dudes screening his vision. As Reynolds now dribbling this one out from the Peeps. Immediately knocked away. This one's just wide of the net. The follow-up's there from Ralph. Can he find it? He does, and Ralph has just been a scoring machine for the dudes.
Man, he may not have been scoring that much before this series, but he is sure shooting, getting it right about now. A great positioning on this one as well. Arsenal just got on the ground. He knew he could put it behind Gyro and essentially have an open net. 58 seconds now, and the dudes looking to clinch game number 2 right here.
Ralph a part of all but one goal here for the dudes so far in this series. Now 4 to his name. 50 seconds left. We got ourselves a tie game, 3-3. Felt like the Peeps had control, but the dudes come roaring back. And it has been Ralph to be that catalyst. Reynolds, a dangerous ball across the box. Skills was right there, but Reynolds stayed so close to it, couldn't find the angle. 30 seconds left. Reynolds, past one. Joe Freshness there. Over to Gyro. Now Arsenal picking this one up into the dude's corner. This one's gonna kick out. Reynolds up late for this one. Skills is gonna beat him. 10 seconds left now on the clock. Are we going to overtime? Arsenal pops this one up. The Peeps looking to end it here in game 2. This ball just popped up from Skills, and he's gonna carry this one out. And it's gonna be killed down from the Peeps in overtime here in game 2.
Get your popcorn out, ladies and gentlemen. For the Peeps right now, there is a lot more opposition to their fast style of play. They were able to increase their speed and increase possession early in this game, but so far the dudes have been able to match that great adaptation in the middle of the game. But now it's all up to either one of these teams, to be perfectly honest, to see who's going to be taking this one.
And demo comes out on Gyro. The shot saved away by Arsenal. Reynolds racing out to meet him, but he runs into Arsenal. Is going to slow him down. Lets Ralph collect this one. Joe Freshness trying to get a second touch. Not able to do so. Here's Skills. Got Joe Freshness in the corner. A shot does come down. It's an easy save for Arsenal. But dudes putting on that pressure early in overtime.
And we've seen a lot of bad spots for the Peeps when it comes to continued pressure on offense. Let's see if they're able to deal with this or if it's going to be the dudes' game off this.
A big bump opened up space there for Ralph. Here's Skills trying to find the second touch. He does. Maybe another one off the back wall. Now Ralph drops it down for Arsenal. Dangerous ball here as the Peeps pounce on it. Gyro pops this one up. Skills forced to go up now. Now Ralph downfield and the dudes get out. But not without a scare there. The Peeps saw the mistake. Just over a minute now. And it feels like the dudes are spending a lot of time on the Peeps side, but really aren't doing anything dangerous with the ball.
Feels a lot like a repeat of game number 1 right about now. I mean, you said it. They're spending a lot of time in offense. They're not exactly putting too many shots on target, but at the same time, they're just trying to build up the amount of time that they've had possession. Another good boost grab there from Joe Freshness. That might be the name of their game. Trying to just boost starve the Peeps until they can't really effectively make a defensive play anymore.
Well, Gyro with no boost there, forced to give it up now 1v1. Joe Freshness tries to go up and over, pops it up over Reynolds, but it goes wide of the net. And the cross came for Ralph out of nowhere. It was skills on the pass, and the Peeps watch it go into their net.
Surprise, a pinch pass off the ceiling, and Ralph is actually ready for that one. A fantastic play by Skills. You know, you got to give him credit for that one. That caught the Peeps completely off guard, and I'm not going to lie, that caught me a little bit off guard as well. The dudes with so much solid pressure in the opposing end for the entirety of overtime, and I have to give them so many props, because honestly, this game was looking a lot like it was going to be the Peeps game. I mentioned it earlier. They were starting to speed up. They were beating dudes to the ball. They were making the key 50-50 plays. They were getting the boost steals. In the second half of that game, you would not be able to understand that the Peeps were doing that in the first half. You would be wondering, how are the dudes losing this? Because they were playing so well in the second half. Their adaptations completely on point.
And now for the Peeps, they drop a second game, and their hopes for top 2 slowly dwindling here, as the dudes have taken it to him. An overtime win now for the dudes. And that last play coming out of nowhere, it felt like the Peeps were there to beat the dudes every single time the shot came through or the pass came across. But the one time it didn't, the dudes find the back of the net. And again, Ralph has just been playing out of his mind here against the Peeps.
Yeah, it's ridiculous to think that we were looking at this at the start of the day, and Stacks brought up the statistic that he hadn't scored for a complete hour of gameplay, and now suddenly, welcome to the Ralph Show, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to score however many goals. I think you said he's a part of 4 goals so far, those 4 obviously being scored by him. We've seen that atomizer more than a couple of times, and the Peeps have got to be worried about that one now. A 0-2 deficit, and honestly, I'm starting to wonder if their morale is going to be a little bit in the lower end of the spectrum after that loss.
Ralph now 5 of 6 goals he's scored with that overtime goal, and the dudes now up 2-0 over the Peeps in the series. Peeps now have to reverse sweep. And the way Ralph's been playing, it's going to be a tall order. Reynolds into the dude's side. Gyro there to meet it in the midfield. This one's knocked down. Arsenal's there, but he can't get there in time before Skills blocks the shot. A demo comes out on Joe Freshness. And that physical play has paid off to open up space from the Peeps, but they haven't really been able to convert.
We saw some efforts to make use of those demo plays on the offensive end as well. Something I noted in the last game, but here's Joe Freshness with a great angle, and the dudes have the lead. Not looking good for the Peeps.
That's great reaction time there from Joe Freshness. Gyro not able to beat to the Skills to the ball, and it comes right back down to Joe Freshness. Gives credit to Skills on the pass there, and the dudes, again, find the first goal here, and they have just been stellar putting the Peeps behind.
And now for the Peeps, this is really a huge mental battle. Are you going to be able to come back from this one, or is it going to be all the dudes' game?
A long clear comes out. Arsenal's there to meet it. Can he get a second touch? He almost puts it away. The follow-up there from Reynolds just lobs it to the dude's corner.
If you're Reynolds, you want to be putting that shot on target. Again, this kind of leads into that aspect. Maybe he was trying to play a mind game on the dudes, but still didn't amount to much. We want to see more of them in that offensive end, so maybe just focus on trying to keep it there for now, as opposed to making significant offensive plays.
2 go for the dudes here. Ralph throws it into the Peeps' corner. This ball going downfield now for the Peeps. An opportunity may arise as that pass goes over the first attacker. Everyone misses here as this ball's just bouncing across the box here. Joe Freshness, what a play coming out from him. He whips it off the wall and he follows it up. The dudes take a 2-goal lead.
Making this play all by yourself is a display of skill, but at the same time, nobody back for the Peeps except for Reynolds, and he has to play on the sidewall. Such a bad spot to be in, and not of his own fault either. He just has to try and make some sort of read on that ball, and Joe Freshness has all the time in the world to get that shot on target. A minute and a half is gone now, and we need to see some Peeps offense if they want to have a chance to take this game.
Only 4 goals have been scored by the Peeps, 3 of them coming in the last game. A 2-goal lead opens up for the Dudes, and they're looking to sweep the Peeps. Here's Arsenal. Might have something to say about it as he goes downfield into the Dudes' corner. Goes for the demo, forces Skills to jump, but he still gets a piece of the ball. Here's Gyro now. Can he drop it down from the pass out from Reynolds? Forces tough saves coming out from the Dudes. Joe Freshness, credit to him to get that one out. But the Peeps that close to finding the target.
And they were trying the demo plays. They ended up getting the shot on target, but one key factor that played into that, they were not ready for the follow-up. When Gyro made that shot, it got saved away, and suddenly the Peeps didn't really have any sort of real estate. It got pushed out rather easily. Keeping that ball in the offensive end, I'm going to reiterate, is probably more important to them than just getting shots on target.
Here's Reynolds. The Peeps really do need to score here soon. Arsenal, can he get a second touch? Not enough boost to follow it up. Here's another one from the Peeps, looking for a third time. It's Gyro. Can he put it away? He does. And the Peeps finally get on the board.
And hopefully this is a momentum boost, because you could see it in Gyro's eyes. Obviously, you can't see his eyes, but everyone knows what it's like to be in that spot. There is so much pressure on you. It's a completely open net. Almost nobody can make a challenge. The last defender upside down coming out of the net, but it's still the most difficult shot you can possibly have in Rocket League.
And Gyro, a player who is particularly hard on himself, staying cool and putting that one away. Gives the Peeps a chance for the reverse sweep. 2 minutes left to get a second goal to tie it up, but maybe the Dudes can shut the door. Joe Freshness, he's got help at the top of the box. It's Ralph. But turned away by Arsenal. The Peeps now on the attack. Here's Reynolds. He's got boost to work with off the back wall, but it's met by a defender from the Dudes. Arsenal finds Reynolds in the corner. Reynolds back to Arsenal. And Skills clears that one out. So the Dudes able to reset.
What a great passing play nonetheless. You gotta like the idea. Arsenal and Reynolds trying to make that play overall is a good sign. They still have a breath of life. They are not giving this one up yet, regardless of the odds, and that is the Peeps we know and love.
Arsenal goes past one, has the follow-up there, and it goes in for Gyro, just pops it up over everyone, and it's tied up.
Huge goal, and this is why you never give up on the Peeps. A great touch there from Arsenal, using the bottom of his car to actually get to the ground faster so he can get it around the last man. Suddenly Gyro has an easy opportunity. He just has to pop it over one. It's a complete goal for the Peeps. Such good team plays. They're starting to really come together, and I wonder if they're going to be able to push this forward to a win.
So a little bit of pressure comes off the Peeps. While they do need to pull off the reverse sweep, they have at least tied it up here. Now they got to take care of it. They put it away. What a pass. The vision from Gyro finds Reynolds in the middle of the box, and they take the lead just like that.
Taking care of business. Great dribble here from Gyro. He pulls out 2 defenders. They think, oh, Gyro's going to do something here. No, that's not the case. He has an option in the midfield. It's Reynolds. Nice striking play overall, and they're starting to look a lot better than we've seen them. 3 assisted goals. They've started utilizing the demo plays, but not completely with their offense. They just got to hold this for 1 minute.
It's taken them just over a minute to score their 3 goals here for the Peeps. And they look like they're coming alive here. The Dudes have 48 seconds to tie this game back up and shut the door on the Peeps. Joe Freshness opts not to go. That's 2 now for the Dudes, and it's a free shot for Reynolds, a wide open net. The Peeps break open the game, and they got 4 goals.
And now we thought the Peeps might be getting in their own heads, but I want you to take a look at Ralph and Joe Freshness on that play. We actually saw a double commit, and then they called each other off. Not a common situation, but it caused an issue nonetheless, and that's going to be a huge insurance goal for the Peeps. Now 4-2 in their favor, 38 seconds to go. They've got to be feeling pretty good about this game.
So the Dudes, they give up 4 straight to the Peeps here in game 3. After a 2-goal lead, the Peeps come roaring back and look to stay alive in this series and keep their top 2 contention in check. This ball just bouncing, coming up on 10 seconds left. The Dudes looking on to game 4 now, and the thought starts to come up in the back of your mind about reverse sweeps and what the Peeps can do. As this ball dies, the Peeps finally win it, and they get a tally on the board here. A 2-1 series, and the Peeps have a chance.
And I think the key here is when you said 4 unanswered goals for the Peeps. That's going to be a huge confidence booster moving into game number 4, and I feel like this game win as a whole will also add to that. Of course, I mean, not losing the series, that's always great, isn't it? But in all reality, I feel like the dudes still have the momentum advantage because they can reset. They don't have to panic about this. They can still afford to lose one more game even and then win out the series. They've shown that they have the strength to take down the Peeps. They've shown that they can effectively counter whatever they throw at them and transition that downfield potentially into offense. They've shown that they got the 1v1 plays, the passing plays, etc., and that includes demos as well. They're a good all-around team, and they've got the time to adapt, something the Peeps do not have.
And something scary for the dudes here is the Peeps scored 4 goals coming into this game. Now they score 4 goals in this game alone. It feels like the Peeps are really starting to heat up here. And when they get going, they look really good. It's something that the Peeps have always been good at, is when they get that momentum, they do carry it through a series. Now they got to do it in the hardest way possible, pull off a reverse sweep against dudes who have looked very good here in this series in particular. But again, they have to win 2 more games. The dudes just have to close out 1.
Yeah, and it was a good showing for the dudes, but the Peeps getting those passing plays started up is what I'm worried about. We saw them score 3 goals in a previous match and still lose it out. But again, the passing plays, finding connections with each other is a big indicator that they're starting to get those communications in line. Bodes very well for the Peeps, but they still have to play solid Rocket League. They can't get ahead of themselves.
All right, game 4, buckle up. The Peeps trying to do what some may think is the impossible here against the dudes. They've been playing so well, and the Peeps really haven't shown that much life, except for in game 3. Arsenal not getting the touch there. Joe Freshness on the clear. And a long drive here. Arsenal forced to come back and make the save. That one's going to kick out. It's a nasty hop, and a big save comes out from Gyro. A great shot from Skills.
Defensive bastion Gyro coming in strong when the Peeps need it most. A deficit here would be more soul-crushing than you can even imagine, and making that save would probably be such a huge morale booster for Gyro.
Here's Reynolds carrying this one uncontested off the back wall. The follow-up to the right side, but it's saved by Ralph.
But a good touch there from Arsenal. Again, more confidence, more momentum in the Peeps' favor, and dropping down again. Gyro's going to still keep it in the zone.
The Peeps circling like sharks. A shot, again saved by Ralph. Heroics from the dudes here on the goal line in the first minute to keep themselves tied up.
But the Peeps trying to maintain more control. We saw Reynolds with a big boost grab right in front of one of the dudes players just a moment ago, and now another passing play in front. They are starting to get very comfortable on the blue side of the field.
Here comes Skills on the ball, met by Gyro. And with all the fanfare in the beginning here, still a tie game. The dudes can relax a little bit as they do find their footing. But maybe not for long as the Peeps on the attack once more. Gyro tries to go under them with no boost. The shot comes out from Arsenal, saved away by Ralph. Big demo on Joe Freshness opens up the left side of the field. Arsenal, he's got Reynolds. The pass comes through. The shot to the right post, and it's just wide. The dudes were reacting, but still a wide shot. Arsenal now. A lot of space here. Tries to go under one. The flip reset comes through. The shot again from Gyro, turned away by Joe Freshness, who has just been a brick wall here for the dudes in the first couple minutes, absorbing so much pressure from the Peeps. A dangerous pinch. Reynolds now up for this one, but it's a tough one to read. He wasn't expecting that one to come through. And halfway through this game, it feels like the dudes just haven't been able to break out.
And that's what I'm afraid of personally for if I'm the Peeps. If the dudes break out and suddenly have a very strong offensive push like they might have right there, then things are going to not look so hot for the Peeps. An opportunity and nobody can make it back in time. This is exactly what they should have been afraid about. The dudes had the lead.
And a second touch from Skills makes Gyro go, and then you can see Arsenal, he pushes out, but he gets caught in no man's land, and Joe Freshness has a free shot on target. And with all that pressure, all time spent on the defensive side for the dudes, they find one downfield and they take the lead.
Peeps doing everything right on the offense. They've been taking boosts. They made a couple of demos. They've been putting shots on target, and it's the dudes who get the first goal by holding their defense strong. And now it's all up to Reynolds, Arsenal, and Gyro to see if they can bring this one back.
The Peeps have their work cut out for them. Arsenal picks up boost here. Goes into an air dribble, tries to carry this one to the left side, goes over one. Can he get the second touch? He puts it away. What a carry from Arsenal.
Oh, Arsenal, that is what you like to see, and Reynolds getting a piece of this action as well. Joe Fresh just had to watch out for the player in the air there. Ralph also putting his bid in for the defensive play, but a great read off the backboard. Of course, he designed it himself, so hopefully he does have the read, but you can count on Arsenal to make those key plays.
And he gets the Peeps back into it. Skills now. And the dudes trying to respond back. Joe Freshness. This one's going to pinch down dangerous in front of the net. It's pounced on by Reynolds and cleared away by the dudes. Still a dangerous ball as Gyro clears this one across. Arsenal's there. It's going to drop down in front of the net. Gyro's up. It comes out to Reynolds. And the shot goes just high as it comes off a defender. The dudes just hanging on. Again, it feels like the Peeps are just knocking on the door, about to beat it down. But the dude's not breaking. The demo comes out. Gyro's here, off the back wall, looking for a third man. Not there, it's Ralph on the clear.
Man, they're starting off where they left off in the earlier part of this game. Demos and shots galore. We saw an earlier passing play that only didn't come to fruition because they actually tried to move too fast with it. So the Peeps are definitely trying to bring the pace of this game up. 65 seconds now, and they can't. Oh, that was a close call.
A great power from Joe there. A minute left. Backs against the wall if you're Peeps. Reynolds trying to get the clear out. Dangerous now for the dudes. Joe Freshness can't get the clear, or excuse me, the cross. Here's Ralph. And Skills go for this ball. Now Gyro on it. Might have a 1v1 opportunity if he cuts it back. Gets Joe Freshness to go. Reynolds on the far side. He meets the ball. And the dudes slow things down.
A good attempt from Gyro. He definitely bided his time well on that one. The final 30 seconds now, and they got to be careful.
Opens up the net, can't get the second touch. The follow-up from Reynolds comes out to Gyro, goes over his head. He just couldn't read that one. And here comes the dudes. Joe Freshness trying to cross it. Skills, that one was on target, but saved away by Reynolds. And he misses the touch here, still dangerous as he has to force himself to pop it over Ralph. 10 seconds left. Are we looking at overtime? A demo comes out on Gyro. Joe Freshness has a little bit of space, tries to get the pass. Ralph tries to keep it up, but we've got overtime in Game 4 that has just been ballistic between these two teams.
Such good vision from Arsenal to cut off that passing lane before it even had a chance to develop. And the Peeps now in the rough spot.
There it is!
Great goal from Reynolds. The pass from Gyro, and they finish it.
What a pass coming out here from Gyro, and it's Reynolds, the perfect positioning. Ralph tries to throw it to his corner, but it comes straight back down the sideline. Reynolds there in the box to put it away, and the Peeps stay alive.
And you know when the Peeps hit a ball parallel to your own goal line in the midfield, you are in some dire straits, my friend, because the likelihood is they've got Reynolds striking out of the midfield. Such a great overall play in the Peeps. Definitely bringing the tenacity to the table, as I said they would need. And oh my goodness, though. I mean, let's give the dudes a hand, though. Look at that save counter, 9 in total. And it felt like, oh, hey, the Peeps, they're doing a great job on offense. But at the same time, the dudes are not giving them any ground whatsoever.
So now the stage has been set. It is a 2-2 series. And just to reiterate the stakes here for the Peeps, a 3-2 win does keep them alive for the top 2 contention. It leaves RBG and Embers still alive as well. That'll come down to their play, or excuse me, their game tomorrow. If the Peeps lose, well, nobody clinches tomorrow. And plot twist, RBG, Peeps, and Embers are still alive for top 2. So the dudes are doing a few teams a favor here if they take down the Peeps.
And for the Peeps now, this is a real big mental game because they're in the spot now where it's getting to the point of, okay, we got these 2 games back. All right, the mentality wasn't too rough there, but now let's not choke this. That's going to be the hard part for them. They've been looking really solid with their passing plays, though. Their offense has been a staple of their play, and they did a great job with it in that game. Of course, dudes caught them off guard once or twice, but they managed to win it by a close margin. I'll grant that. Things were looking a bit rough there, but they managed it.
Well, here's the deal. If I'm Peeps, that's a great game for me with all the pressure that they had on dudes. I'd rather a game go like that, to have the opportunity after opportunity and be on offense that much. But Game 4 is over. We're into Game 5. And here comes the Peeps. It's a shot on target. Ralph able to turn that one away. And here comes Skills. Try to get under this ball and put it across, but removed by Arsenal. Ralph misses the touch here, so it's just going to bounce to the dude's corner. Joe Freshness forced to come in. It's given up to Gyro. And the Peeps finding a little bit of space here in the box, cleared away by Skills. The shot comes out just off the crossbar. The follow-up's there, and it's Reynolds who puts Peeps ahead.
This is such a great move by the Peeps because Gyro, with no boost, managed to actually force Skills to send that one into the midfield, which is the last place you want to be clearing the ball if you have a choice. But Skills, he didn't really have any sort of option. That first touch from Gyro, even though the Peeps didn't have that much boost control or continued offense, opened up a huge gap for them to put that one through.
The Peeps strike first. And the dudes, you think about their mentality and are really starting to think about a reverse sweep now. But they have a lot of time to work with. Here's the Peeps coming out from their own corner. Gyro almost getting Arsenal there on the sidewall. Here's Reynolds looking for the dude's corner. A long clear comes out for the dudes and the ball going back and forth. Teams looking for those gaps. Here's Ralph. He's got Joe Freshness. Can he knock it down? He doesn't get the touch. It comes straight down to Ralph either way. But still Peeps not panicking on defense.
Well, here's the thing. The Peeps played so strongly on offense last game that personally, I don't want to see them try to hold on to just this one goal. They're so good at playing offense that I feel like they'd have a better time trying to just play offense the whole game, but... And this is exactly why.
Ralph gets one credited to him, and it's just the flick off of Joe Freshness here that throws off Gyro just enough. And Ralph racing to catch up to the ball, finds it and puts it away for the dudes.
This is what I was literally just talking about when that one happened. I'd rather see them play offense because it gives more margin for error for the Peeps, and they're just that much stronger on offense for the dudes. Keeping it on their opposing half is a very good play. Trying to get boost starving, anything that they can do to slow down their opponents is going to be a huge benefactor.
Ralph's first goal in 2 games. And here comes Skills. Ralph waiting patiently for this one, and Arsenal doesn't get the touch. Ralph makes him pay, and the dudes take the lead.
Great 50-50 from Ralph, and there's no other way you can slice that one. Arsenal had to make that touch effectively, and Ralph read it all the way. He knew that if Arsenal wasn't able to make contact, it was a free goal, and he was able to do exactly what was needed to put it through. 3 minutes and 7 seconds. The Peeps are out of the lead.
A defensive blunder there for Arsenal and the Peeps. And Arsenal now trying to make amends. He scored one of these earlier, getting a second touch, but he's out of boost. The follow-up's there to the back of the net for Reynolds, and the Peeps tie it back immediately.
What a way to respond, and you said it. Arsenal scored one of these already, and you can tell the dudes were trying to respect that as much as they can. Joe Fresh just waited on the goal line for as long as possible. Ralph coming up on the right side as well. And it makes you wonder if the dudes were trying to give so much more respect to Arsenal that caused actually a couple of defensive mishaps.
Reynolds scoring 50% of the goals, 6 out of 12 for the Peeps here in this series. Coming up on halftime. Arsenal to his own corner, trying to find a way out, but it's Ralph comes barreling through. Joe Freshness to turn around, finding the back wall. Ralph went, but can't put it on target. Here's Reynolds as this one pinches away off of Skills. And a long throw down field here for the Peeps to break out. A tough ball to deal with here for Reynolds. This one's dangerous. Skills up for it. Can he make contact? He does. But the Peeps get in front of it just enough. Now Reynolds slowing things down. Beats one, but pays the price for it. Now Ralph trying to follow this one up using all of his boost. Reynolds actually spawns on the other side of the ball. And the dudes pressing on. Another demo comes out. This one off the side wall. 2 minutes left. And the dude's looking dangerous. Here's Ralph. He's got Joe Freshness. The shot, the goal, and the dudes take back the lead.
That was clean if I've ever seen it. And again, a ball moving parallel to your goal line is truly terrifying for any defender. A great touch, lightly straight down to Joe. Has an excellent angle on the ball just underneath the crossbar. And this honestly feels like a battle of two offensive powerhouses because we've seen so many good things out of the dudes. We've seen so many good things out of the Peeps, and we're going back and forth all day.
The dudes regain the lead and possibly some confidence to win this series. The Peeps now set to respond. 1 minute and 40 seconds left in Game 5. A win here almost certainly clinches their top 2 spot. Arsenal trying to get the block on the dudes here as this ball thrown downfield now. Ralph has Joe Freshness trying to get it off the ceiling, can't connect. Slowing things down, Arsenal goes by 1, tries to go by 2, he bumps him out of the way. Here's Joe Freshness there to clean things up and does so for the dudes.
And this is the Peeps gameplay right now. They have to break it past 1 or 2 players. They almost did right there, but the dudes are willing to play this as safe as they absolutely need in order to secure this win right about now. They're keeping a man well behind the midfield line in some cases just to make sure that the Peeps can't break out.
And it's an extended stay here for the dudes on offense. The Peeps really haven't shown much offense here in the last minute or so. And that's a dangerous touch as Skill is forced to go up. Here's Gyro. The demo comes out. It's an open net. Joe Freshman is forced to go back. He almost puts it into his own net there. Would have been devastating for the morale of the dudes, but maybe a goal off the crossbar. No, the Peeps can't find it. Reynolds whips around and Arsenal secures it. A tie game with 36 seconds left.
The absolute hero play from Reynolds. The first one with the pass, and then Arsenal just barely missing high. Has got to be a little bit of heartbreak, but Reynolds stays cool. He puts it back in the zone, and Arsenal is still in the play. The mental fortitude of these players is absolutely ridiculous. They are not going down without a fight. We're approaching the final 30 seconds. Will we get OT?
With the way the Peeps have shown themselves for the last 2 seasons, we might get it, but not if you remove the defender. Reynolds finds the forced goal, and the Peeps take the lead.
The demo plays are so strong, and they bring it out in the clutchest of moments. Reynolds understands what's going on. The communication is key, and he just has to put it on target. The final 27 seconds for Peeps to potentially clinch top 2.
What a dramatic game here between dudes and the Peeps. A little miscommunication there from the dudes on kickoff. And here's Reynolds trying to solidify this game. Less than 20 seconds left. Do the dudes have anything left in the tank? Here's Arsenal. A little bit of boost to work with here. Just carrying this ball under one. And this ball just floating in front of the net. Ralph can't get a hold of it. Skills throws it downfield. Time's ticking away for the dudes. And the Peeps look to take it in 5. They do. And they don't secure top 2 with this, but they make their lives a heck of a lot easier.
They definitely do. And the Peeps, could you have made that series any closer? Because I honestly feel like I couldn't have paid for a better watch for this series. Dudes, such a good effort, and honestly, I'm sad to see it end this way because they came out so strong in games 1 and 2. They knew exactly what they had to do to shut the Peeps down. They just couldn't. They were so close. And I'm gonna say it again. I could not pay for a better series of Rocket League.
It is a fantastic series of North American rival series. We wouldn't want it any other way as we bring Haloran back into this, and I have to say, Haloran, after seeing the Peeps go up here or win this series in dramatic fashion, I'm not sure if I can take another Peeps series.
I think it's very nice that it's game number 4 because there is absolutely too much excitement to be had here. How many times have we seen a game 5 shootout, some kind of dramatic finish, absolutely insane play? When did they install a roller coaster on the pitch? I was not ready for that. But on the other side of it, 72 minutes and 6 seconds. That was the last time Ralph had scored a goal before going into this match. He definitely must have changed something up because he became an absolute monster. Where was this version of the dudes all season long?
And he scores 7 in this series, part of 9 total for the dudes. So Ralph definitely stepping it up. And while Ralph played well for the dudes, I really want to point out Reddles. This guy popped off in this series. This was a fantastic series for Reddles. And finally, the Peeps have a third here that really carries his weight through the season. And my goodness, Reddles coming through in the clutch, scoring goal after goal for the Peeps. You got to feel good if you're Gyro and Arsenal.
The third act is going to be interesting, to say the least. One more week to go for some exciting rival series action. Let's take a look at the standings because this is going to get more and more insane. Tomorrow, twitch.tv/Rival Esports. You definitely want to be there, 9 a.m. Pacific. RBG taking on the Embers. That is going to have ginormous implications going into who's getting that top 2 spot.
And it really, we're looking at the Peeps. With that 3-2 win, like you said, it does keep RBG and the Embers alive, but it really depends on how that series pans out. More on that next week. But as you can see here in North America, Birds and Bees sitting 6-0. They do clinch that top 2 spot. Peeps in pursuit. Plot Twist, a team that we thought maybe could be a top 2 contender, sitting at that 3rd place spot. They looked good throughout the series, or excuse me, throughout the season. But man, North America has just been something special this season.
The competition just continues to narrow. And when you have 2 teams that are 1-5, able to take on teams of the caliber that we've seen today, you know you have stiff competition. On the other side in Europe, things are getting crazy too. Cinnamon, Complexity. They're duking it out. They're now in a position. Earlier today, going into today, Cinnamon was 8th place at the end of the day before going into the B stream. And now they're in the competition for a top 2 spot. It would be really cool if they were somehow able to play each other for week number 5. Oh, wait, they are. So you definitely want to be there next week because it is going to be an insane finish. Tomorrow, noon, you're going to have the RLCS continue as well. So much action to be had. You want to stick around. We'll see you next week. Show up tomorrow as well. A lot of action for Rocket.